Alright. Another stream. Another Doki Doki stream, in fact. So hello everyone, it's your failed programming error that just refused to be fixed. CodeErr, and welcome to, well, what will probably maybe be the second to last stream of the story of club meetings of this season. Because, well, we're starting the second to last episode today. I have decent enough hopes that we're gonna be able to finish the episode, because just one episode should be doable, I hope. And I don't know, actually, the finale might take 2 streams again, but just because we're almost done with the episodes doesn't mean we're almost done with the entire season. There is still quite a bit of stuff we have to get through. Specifically, there's emails and I believe some other bonus content as well. So, I am excited. For now, let us just load on in, because we still have stuff to do. Because, yeah, again, we're on the season 3 episodes. Now, the poems and mods we can skip, because they actually show up during the actual season. Nothing to worry about there. However, then we have the scenes from the beach trip, the email bag, which is gonna take a long time, and the bonus features. I would say, after we're done with the episodes, we'll do the email bag, and then save the scenes and the bonus features until the end, because that seems like it's gonna be a nice little reward to end things off. Now, I'm not sure if we'll do the beach trip before the bonus features or after the bonus features. I guess we'll see when we get there. Now, no use delaying too much. Season 3 episodes. We're in the second half. We're going into episode... Last time we did episode 34, where a new member joins, that being Rhea. And now we're on to 35. Yuri decides to fully curate your viewing experience. Natsuki makes a mistake. Well, it can't be. It's a lie. Natsuki could never make a mistake. How would she? How would she make a mistake? It's impossible. Hi, Rob. You're actually here first today. Hello. But interesting. Yuri still in control. Because, of course, they tried to transfer back, and that didn't work. Also, hi. Hi, Anapstabeats. Welcome to the stream. By the way, yeah. Should I just keep addressing you with your full username, or like a nickname, just Beats, whatever? I don't know. Sometimes it feels weird, calling people by their full username. I don't know, though. Anyway, so yeah, episode 35, we're going in. I'm starting the episode. Sam? Or Sam, that works too, I guess. Alright. I can only presume the world around her has faded away. That is a line that would describe Yuri pretty well. Speak of the devil. Now, I am curious. What do you think, guys? Do you think the game will call me out again today? Do you think the game will be like, oh, hey, by the way, Code, how has your streaming experience been recently? How are you doing? Are we addressing you correctly? We'll see. I'm just still happy that I even got called out not once but twice. 2 Easter eggs were... 1 Easter egg was more than I expected. Who knows if it will? Yeah, who... Who would know, Dev? Who would know? But yeah, I was already super surprised by 1 Easter egg reference. Then there was a second one. And that came out of nowhere. Gotta go again, need to continue charting. You do that charting stuff. Alright.
Here you are, very timely. I was just trying to save some images of what the sun looked like rising over the city. It's very pretty outside today. But enough of my meandering thoughts. There's so much to do today, so much going on. Today is the second to last meeting of the literature club before graduation.
I know it's the second to last one, which, we're slowly approaching the end. Again, we'll see if we get through the entire episode. We'll see. Let's do today, so yeah, it works. I also saw that. Glad to know everything worked out. Actual best club mod? Actual best club mod, you say? Ooh. Now you're raising my expectations. We'll see.
That already makes me feel rather wistful. It's been such a long time that we've been together. It's probably just the loop talking, but it feels like this was never meant to end or move on. But just like MC, I somehow also feel like change must happen. This is the way of all life after all. Change, growth, the decay of all things. Perhaps it's inevitable that we would move along eventually, if Monica and I can finish all the things that need to be done for it to work, that is. But also it's Natsuki's birthday party today.
Hey, let's go! Looking forward to that one. But how would Natsuki make a mistake? Again, she's flawless. She could never make a mistake, especially on her birthday party. Like, how would that work? The sound delay. It was a little bit annoying. Also, hi there. Throne is live. You've been following for a long time, but I don't think you've been a very chatty person. I do not think you've been a very chatty person in chat. But damn, you've been around. You have been around, huh? Intriguing.
We're doing it at Miss Ida's apartment. She's agreed to supervise us for our parents.
Also, Bones, did you already end your stream, or are you just checking in right now to say hi? Because you were just streaming a minute ago. Huh. Curious. It was a year and 3 months? Or like you were away for a year and 3 months? Is that what you mean? Like you were inactive? Well, that would explain something, yeah.
Natsuki's celebrating with her family this weekend too. Yuki will be there, of course.
What was I playing back then? Damn. Went to Japan? Ooh, how was it? How was it? I mean, I know you said you focus on studies, but still, must have still been an interesting trip. A lot of FNF. Oh yeah, I still do that. I still do that. That hasn't changed. Every Friday, I still stick to that. FNF Friday will never go away, probably. That was amazing, beautiful. I can imagine. I really want to go someday as well, but well, I need to have the time to go. And I need to be able to comfortably be able to afford it without having to worry about anything. And I feel like I should improve my Japanese a bit more until I go.
Natsuki's celebrating with her family this weekend too. Yuki will be there, of course. We're celebrating late, but there just wasn't time during her actual birthday. Apparently her mother and father have agreed to both come to the private family celebration that the club will not be at.
Ah, I see. So you're not gonna get to see the mom. The momski.
And to remain on their best behavior while there. I think Natsuki's hopeful that perhaps it will help those two repair their relationship, but I get to go to the family celebration as well.
Oh, do you now? I mean, you are kind of family now. Code no Nihongo wa totemo sugoi desu. It's really not. It's really not totemo sugoi. で、本当に僕の日本語レベルはまだ本当に低いですよ。でも、ありがとうございます。Saxophone, piano? Not honestly, just playing one instrument would be too much for me. But again, playing two instruments that are so incredibly different as well. Man, why does everyone have talent except me? Considering telling you something, it's a bit of a spoiler. No! Even if it's just a bit of a spoiler, do not, shush, quiet. Discord. So 2 years. That's a long time ago. 2022. Man, it still hasn't really sunk in. That's already 2024 now. It is actually 2024. Where has the time gone? Finish Doki Doki in Japan. Well, what a way to finish Doki Doki, by being in Japan for it. It is perfect. All is as it should be.
I'm a little nervous about it. I've never met her mother or father, and I've only spoken to Yuki a few times and never as Natsuki's girlfriend, so it'll be a bit stressful for me. But today's less stress because it's the club's birthday celebration for Natsuki this evening. And I'm told that since Natsuki thinks it's only fair that she be considered in her mid-20s due to the time loop, that there be alcohol.
There be alcohol indeed. She has been told that there be alcohol, which you know isn't exactly, you can just say, if you want to sound fancy, there it be, the alcohol. Scary as one of my friends thought I was playing some... Oh, excuse me? Excusez-moi? Poker games? I mean, it is a visual novel that is like taking the guise of a dating sim, but is actually psychological horror. Of course, someone looking in would think a stereotypical anime dating sim, which could lead into the uh-oh territory. But yeah. Content is good, I will play it, doesn't mean I support the creators. That is a valid opinion to have. Honestly, again, the main problem is I feel bad if I have something that I enjoy and I'm like, I want other people to check this out too, but I don't want to talk anything positive about content by bad people. I know the content is good, but I don't want to support it because supporting the content would mean supporting the creator, and if the creator's a bad person, you know how that works out. Also, Spooky Waters, hi! Catching this for the first time on the penultimate episode. I mean, people can swing by whenever. Do you want a rundown of what happened so far? I'm not sure. Still solving the old Doki Doki ARG. Ooh! Ooh, that sounds interesting. Well, good luck on that. Series, well, you're familiar. So you probably swung by from the Discord maybe? Totally caught up? Okay, nice. Nice. Hope you're having a great day, by the way. Anyway, we were just, at the start of the episode where... I'm still curious how Yuri's gonna be curating the entire episode. How is this gonna go? Anyway, we were talking about alcohol.
And someone who agrees, never mind who exactly, has agreed to buy the alcohol for the party.
Interesting. But on paper, in universe, they're still 18. Which... also high spinner. Which would make it difficult to get the alcohol. Well, if they're going by the drinking age of 21 rules here. Which I don't know if that is the case for the Dokis as well. Haven't slept since Thursday, trying to solve close. Get some sleep, perhaps some obvious things, perhaps you can't even see some of the obvious stuff because you're just so sleep deprived.
So that should be interesting at the very least. Oh, and also today I'm trying out something I've been working on. A new way for you to experience our time together. I'm quite excited for you to see it. You'll be able to do so momentarily, I hope. But anyway, let's have a talk. It's been a while since our last one. There's so much to discuss after all.
Blank? Well, that is... interesting. I guess we'll just go down the line. Creator is a bad person and the content isn't good. Okay. That is an opinion to have. Certainly. Fair opinion. I still think there's quite a few. That's why it's kind of confusing. No, but seriously, think about... I stream FNF a lot. Think about stuff like the Pop and Bullshit mod. Very fun mod. Horrible creator. Or, if we're staying on the DDLC topic, the whole thing about our castle walls. It was a fun mod. It included some Wallace horrible characters, but they were intended to be horrible characters. And yeah, we also have a case of bad creator. Anyway, hard question. I don't like to watch them. Let's say map that turned out to be such a stable. Really stop watching to me. Well, everyone's gonna have to stop watching MatPat soon anyway because he's retiring. So that's going away. But I'm just happy that, as far as we know, MatPat wasn't a bad person. Because he is such a big staple of YouTube. Alright, Natsuki's birthday party. Let's start talking about stuff.
We're having it at Miss Ida's house.
Yes, you mentioned as much.
She graciously offered her modest home for the day. I think maybe she is, as usual, just happy for the social interaction. But yes, we will be over at her place. We're all getting rides from either Monica or Miss Ida, since they're both not going to drink. We thought about inviting Rhea, but, well, if people are going to be drinking, best not to have her for several reasons. One is that she's very sheltered and isn't actually mature enough, and another is that it would be hard to shield our secret from her, so it'll just be the 6 of us. I think that will be nice, although I hope Monica doesn't feel too lonesome. Since Natsuki and I came out publicly, she has been a little more subdued.
Yeah, because she's single for life now.
I strongly suspect it is due to feeling lonely, although she does a good job hiding it. We'll just have to go out of our way to make sure she feels included. I already have my gift for Natsuki. I'm giving her 2. One for the party this evening and one for the family party this weekend.
Wow, really going all out. To point out everyone's. You know, it was about Monica's loneliness. Miss Ida actually is dating someone now. Well, we hope it's going well. It was going well last time we checked in on her relationship. So yeah.
What I do need help with is help with alcohol. It's bring your own. I have a few ideas, but I'd like your input. What do you think I should bring?
Well, there's some choices here. As someone who is a strict anti-alcoholic, I feel like I am in no way qualified to voice my opinion on what alcohol to bring. And I feel like they shouldn't drink anything too strong. So, Rob, I know you want them to pick vodka, but again, I don't know. Champagne does feel more fitting, I agree. But yeah, I do feel like champagne feels more fitting. I agree with that one. So I shall go with champagne here.
A fairly safe choice. Champagne is the normal wine for celebrations, after all. Not sure it's the most interesting choice, but you would likely know the proper alcohol much better than I, so let's go with it.
I absolutely would not know. I have chat to rely on. I personally have no clue. Wanting Yuri to blatantly favor nuts. Ah. Not bad, especially with the... Yeah. Again, in universe, they're technically 18, despite all the time that has passed, that they were 18. Like, they've been 18 for many years at this point. Too much trust. Honestly, too much trust. Way too much trust.
Well, glad to have that question settled. One less thing I have to worry about today, although I do still need to pick up the champagne at some point, I suppose. Or maybe I should get some of those fluted glasses it goes in. Busy. But enough about the birthday party, what else?
Alright, let me just check something real quick. What were the choices here? Experience. Okay, it's the same choices. That seems interesting. It does. In the first section, there was one that was just purely blank. Now the blank one has disappeared and we get this garbled choice. I was just checking to see if that was the blank one. But yeah, the other choices seem to be the same. I think. Checking again. Experience graduation, yeah. The only thing that changed is, of course, the one option I picked is gone. I feel like if I once again pick something else, I'm gonna save again as well, just in case. But if I pick something else again, this will once again change to something else. The question is what? Let's find out what it changes to next time. Ending the loop! Sounds like a Pokemon name, yeah, of course.
A slightly more serious topic. Well, there are essentially two things that we have to be concerned about with regard to fixing the loop and moving on with our lives. One is the question of how, if we graduate, we will continue to manage the simulation awareness problem. After all, if we graduate, we won't be students. And as Miss Ida showed us, you must be a student to be the president of the literature club. But what would happen if none of us were in the literature club anymore? What if there were no literature club?
Never played FNF? Well, I play it constantly. I personally think it's fun. But a personal preference. Probably because I've just stuck to it for so long. Maybe it's a case of Stockholm Syndrome.
Probably nothing good would happen, but fortunately I think we found a way around that little problem. We're just going to do what Miss Ida did. We set up an enrollment automatically as adult students in adult classes. Monica has rigged a little procedural trick where the literature club will always exist, at least on paper, at the school with ourselves as true officers. Ria will be the chair of the club. We tested whether calling someone the chair would trigger anything a few weeks ago, and it didn't, so we're fairly confident that this will work.
Best mod to try out first, Mario's Madness. But Mario's Madness is a good mod, not a good beginner mod. A good mod to try out first would be Hazy River. And yes, Doki Doki Takeover is also a fair choice. Doki Doki Takeover is amazing. One of the best FNF mods out there. And you don't even need to be super good at the game for it. I feel like Doki Doki Takeover is fairly balanced. Should we 1 or V2? What you want to look for is Doki Doki Takeover Plus, the farewell update. That is the newest version and that has everything. If that is what you're interested in. Anyway, other Doki stuff here. Or Mario Madness we want or V2? Well, usually just try going for the higher versions. But yeah, I don't think Mario's Madness is a beginner mod, per se.
Especially with Miss Ida's help, she can always make sure no one at the school tampers with this little secret shady club that exists only on paper by staying at the school. Hopefully, but yes, ideally, we'll still be able to control the odd nature of the club presidency while moving on with our lives this way, although we're not sure if you'll still be able to join in, as it were. The more difficult concern is a coding one relating to the loop. Monica believes it will be easy to cut out the loop as it applies to us, but the problem is that many things are dependent on the loop and presume its existence and operation in the literature club. I'm not sure what to do about that, but Monica says she has the problem well in hand. She says she's not worried about that part at all, which is comforting, but also troubling because she told us not to worry about it and that we'd probably rather not know how she's doing it, which is worrisome. But probably she's right that we're better off not knowing. Don't you think?
Oh, that's a tough question. Sometimes it is best to let sleeping dogs lie. Go, yeah, you just pass things by. To just let this little problem fly. And let any thoughts about it die. Oh my. Wish me luck. Best of luck to you, I guess. Longest seasons trail the next one. Make Kobe able to apply for voice acting jobs. Yeah, imagine. I feel like if Monica has definitely learned her lesson from stuff she's done in the past. So it's not just her keeping secrets for the sake of keeping secrets. I believe that if she says it's something they should rather not know, she has her reasons for it and it's probably valid. So I'm gonna say she's probably right.
I hope so. It's really nice to be able to trust someone on something like that, and I feel like Monica especially deserves a chance, so hopefully you are correct. I just hope all goes well when we do turn off the loop. I, for one, am ready to move on. I think we all are. I envy you somewhat. You grow and progress in life naturally, and you don't have to stop and think about it at all. It just happens, whereas for us it's a whole project just to move forward a year. And otherwise we're trapped in an infinite senior year of high school. I suppose you will probably tell me that it has its drawbacks, and I'm sure it does, but on the whole I think you have a fairly good arrangement there in your world. As with many other things, I wish even momentarily I could see what it is like, or to speak to you and hear about your life. It is one thing to have another world that you can only read about, but it's quite different to have it so tantalizingly close. To just barely be able to communicate with the person on the other side, it is both wonderful and agonizingly frustrating all at once. But too much of me waxing poetic. What else did you want to talk about?
Oh! The garbled text changed again. First nothing, then garbled text, and now it's, hey, hello, Yuri? Ah, this is getting interesting. Yeah, okay. What does it evolve into next is the big question. Also, I will save yet again. I will keep saving here. Let's talk about graduation.
Indeed, if we do fix the loop, we will in fact finally graduate. It should be quite interesting. I confess I feel a little bit of trepidation around the actual event itself, not about actually graduating, that I'm happy about, but you know there will be a lot of people there, a lot of people watching and looking at me, and you know, it's not appealing to someone socially anxious. I think I will have a slightly difficult time there.
Alright. You've grown so much, you'll do great. Just take deep breaths, you'll get through it. You could just skip the event and get your diploma later. Deep breaths.
Hopefully, it is a bit more stressful than just a test at school or something. I suppose I should be more worried about the test. Even if I fall on my face at graduation, it won't really matter much. It won't affect my life in the future, in the way of doing poorly on a test would, for instance. But still it feels heavier, do you know what I mean? Like somehow it is big and dreadful. The significance of the event becomes a weight around my neck. But I suppose I should do my best not to let it frighten me, no matter how big the crowd may be. I suppose we will see how it goes on that day. I'm just so glad that everyone will be growing and becoming someone new. Finally, after all these years. I guess it hasn't been that many years, but it certainly feels like it. I feel proud, I think.
Everything is fun in games until your school decides to start a literature club. Never. And if it does, don't join unless you want to experience existential dread. Researching US friends only for the next 7 hours. Ah, yes. Sure. I mean, she is currently club president. She would have the easiest time researching stuff. I knew I already experienced existential. But I mean, come on, Dev. As the developer, you are kind of indirectly part of the club because you are involved with making the club episodes. So, of course. Well, then again, that would be claiming that you didn't experience existential dread before that. All have a piece of me in them. Yes, they do. Yeah, we all know she does self-insert sometimes. Sometimes.
a little bit for myself, but mostly for my friends. All of them, they have all been through so much and have come out to be much stronger people. And then I think, goodness, this is only just the beginning. In college, who knows how we will change and grow? What could Monica, Sayori, or MC become? What could Natsuki become? What will I become? Even I could not tell you. The only way to know is before me, and I will step into it, knowingly, courageously, or at least I will try to do it courageously. But enough about my fears. There are other things to discuss.
Error undefined. What is that option? Again, save it for last, unless a new experience is gonna start the next section. In which case, I have saved, I can go back, a new experience.
Oh, yes, that. So normally the game has its own unknowable algorithm for deciding where you go and what you see, and often it makes very interesting and good choices, if you will, about where to send you. But I thought that this was a rather random way to experience our world, especially when I could do so for you.
Saved, I can go back. Bold words for DDR. Oh, you're right. Oh, dear God, you do have a point. This is a DDLC mod. How could I forget? I should know the risks of depending on saves. Oh my.
Especially when I could do so for you, so today I will be your host for your visit. I will directly control where you visit and who you visit. I think that doing it that way might prove more interesting, and also might avoid some of the embarrassing private moments that the game occasionally breaches.
Oh shit, you're already getting help offered to you. Damn, Rob. I mean, it's always linear. Could Charles in season 3 to mess with you? Do you try to change what you do with saves? Oh, did you not? Did you not now? I'll still have to check out if the different options if the option at different points triggers a different result.
I just need to be careful to check before sending you somewhere, really. I think that's a much more interesting way to do it, don't you?
Cat. I'll go with the regular options now, but I want to see what all the garbled text options do. Yes.
Excellent. It's an interesting thing trying to tell a story this way. All my life has been fascinated by stories, and here I get to tell one. It's just a little different since it's actual things that are happening, and I'm just choosing where to point the camera. Oh, also I will try when I can to offer up my commentary about what is occurring as well.
Oh, you're a commentary for the entire episode.
I thought it would be interesting to you hearing commentary on the story from a character in what is to you that very story. Now, doing this did take a little bit of effort to set up, so I may have to make some adjustments as we go along and things happen, but mostly the experience should be seamless. I hope you enjoy it. But surely there are other things you wanted to discuss.
Well then, only one option left.
What was that? I did not quite understand, which is interesting of itself. I've never seen that happen with the system before. What did you say?
Nothing, nothing, nothing. Must have been a glitch. Nothing. Hey, Yuri! What do you think? Hi, oh, Yuri. Is it morning though? Nothing.
Oh, still, how interesting. I'll have to look into that later. Time now, I think, for you to see someone else.
Alright, alright. We are loading. What if I say, hey, Yuri? Hey, Yuri.
Yes? Goodness, this is strange. What is it?
The menus are strange. Shouldn't I visit the others? Where's Natsuki? You're abusing your power. The game is glitching. What's the club mod this week? Ah, yes, you have some. Oh, yeah, what's the club mod? Shouldn't I visit the others? And then you are abusing your power. The menus are strange.
So they are glitching, are they? I had sensed something of it in a strange way. I didn't say anything because I wasn't sure, but still very interesting and worth looking into. Can't have glitches in a game your entire existence depend on, can you? You can be assured I'll look into it. Thank you for telling me. Time now, I think, for you to see someone else.
I guess we'll just move on. And if I ever truly feel like it, I can go back and see if there's different dialogue for different stuff. Like, if we reach the final stream I do of this game, and I realize that the stream turns out to be too short, then I can be like, alright, let's go back to this very moment. Now he wants to not reload this. Oh, I am sorry. I just felt like I should inform her of what's going on, you know? And then I went back. Tormuse, how's it going? How was the rest of your stream? How was the rest of your stream? Figuring some stuff out, I assume. But yeah, we just encountered the glitchy menus, and I did a bunch of saves here to potentially go back and check out. Also, Lord Kusero? Hi, hello, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. In danger of the final stream being too short, hopefully. I mean, fair. Well, it depends. It always depends on where the cutoff points are. Like, if I cut off the second to last stream at a point where there's only like 1.5 hours left or something, then, you know, then we would run into this. Because again, I am not just doing all the episodes. I am also doing the bonus content. I am doing the email bag. I am going through everything. Alright. Tommy's bird. Yeah, I see. Well, I hope there was a nice stream. Rest of the stream was relatively uneventful. Okay, tying up loose ends. Well, okay, I see. It is always a little bit interesting for me when I get into your streams because I am missing a lot of context whenever I show up. Which I feel like with Disco Elysium is a little bit of an ass situation because it seems very, you know, story heavy because obviously but it is still interesting. Alright, so where were we?
Time now, I think, for you to see someone else. I'm going to send you to the girls' bathroom first.
Yay, I'm going to the girls' bathroom.
The group is still uneasily rebuilding their friendship. It genuinely hurt Natsuki that Ikuko left when Natsuki talked about me and her, but I think they are doing alright now, as you will see.
Okay. The friend amalgam voice is the one I kind of dislike the most. I don't know, I never could come up with a good enough voice. I am running out of voices, and this is where it definitely becomes noticeable. Anyway, friend amalgam voice. Be slightly like in the Natsuki voice and then go gremlin a little bit more. What? Everyone's favorite.
I said there's no way that's even possible.
Can you see this? I think so. Ikuko has been very talkative the last few weeks when normally she is somewhat reserved and snide. I think to make up for offending Natsuki.
Oh, that's pretty interesting. What do you think, Ayami? Well,
Ayami's very interesting. Ikuko ran away from Natsuki because she was upset at the idea of losing Natsuki as a friend, but I think Ayami's the one who's the most actually uncomfortable with the idea of two girls dating. From what I can tell, she wouldn't dare to tell Natsuki that. She too wants to be Natsuki's friend. And interestingly, I think she's slowly revising her opinions as to two girls dating by virtue of being around Natsuki. But enough of me just giving commentary, you should watch.
Or should I now? I thought the whole point of this was for Yuri to give commentary. Just looking forward to doing the voices again. Sooner everyone's favorite. I feel like I should get into Disco Elysium. But I have enough other games that I'm more interested in. She doesn't want to meet Yuri's fists. That is also very fair.
Yeah, so I think they're finally together now. They are playing it close to the chest if they are. If anything, I'd say they've been a little more distant recently. I would say that's suspicious in itself. Yeah, it's a classic separation to seem like you're not together. Although, a reason why Katsura and Arisu have to hide their relationship. I mean, some people have a reason, but why them? I mean, sometimes people are just shy about being in a relationship, even if there's no reason. It's different. And some people are super shy about it, especially if everyone's been speculating about you forever, like with Katsura and Arisu. I'd probably want to hire too if I were them. So Natsuki, how are things with you and Yuri?
Alright, here we go. Best written video game of all time. That is very, very high praise. Incredibly high praise. Curious. It's a cool game. It looks like there are 100 different directions the story can go. Oh, really? Impressed with the thoroughness and accounting for all the player's possible actions. Okay, that is interesting. That seems very well thought. That must have taken forever to set up, so all the different paths you can take work. Wow. Okay, my curiosity is definitely there.
I'd say they're going pretty well. It's really nice to be able to be with her and not wonder about who knows or who I need to keep it from. Just being able to be cool with it, you know? That's nice. She's a little distant lately, actually. Not because of anything with us, I think, but still, it's been a little weird.
Wait, she thinks I'm being distant. She hasn't told me this. Oh, I should pay attention to this, actually.
But other than that, it's been really great. She's a wonderful woman.
Darn, it sounds like I missed it.
You know, I'm starting to feel a little wistful, you guys. About it's just kind of hitting me all at once. It's not that long until graduation for some of us, you know? We won't have that much longer to hang out all together. It's a little wistful.
And that's when they say, yeah, but we're gonna come back for senior year next year. Like they always do. Changing your skills. Characters that talk to you constantly. That is interesting. Again, seems like something that I might enjoy. But with all the other stuff I have on the chopping block, like with, you know, Doki, like the DDLC mode World of Dreams, Act 2, that's something I have to do. Undertale Yellow, obviously, I'm playing ahead in time after I'm done with this. I should definitely see if I can get to Disco Elysium at some point. Pay attention immediately fails to pay attention. Yep, indeed. See, that is the downside with her doing commentary over this. That is what people need to learn. Now, if Yuri was playing really smart, because I know the club president can freeze time, if she was playing it smart, she would freeze time whenever she commentates and then resume time. Much like how, and again, you can argue about how valid of a content form this is. I know opinions can go in both directions, but take for example, reaction content, right? There are some people who do their best to commentate because, you know, the whole point of making content like that is to commentate, give your opinions, talk about it, which is why people hate when people just sit there staring at it. And the thing is, in that there are those who just pause the video to give their opinion. Why doesn't Yuri pause the world to give her opinion if she's so worried about missing something? Just saying. Here's missing the movie because Yuri keeps talking over the movie. Exactly.
Yeah, it kinda is. It feels like we should do something meaningful. Yeah, well, I don't know what would be more meaningful than hang out and continuing to shoot the shit with you guys.
Well, for Yuri's streaming career, it really doesn't. Yuri, come on! And then eventually gonna be like, oh, why didn't I know this? Oh, you know you talked over it earlier.
And how I want to remember you all once we're all in different places. Or I guess once you are in different places since I'm stuck here. Speaking of which, what are you guys gonna do after this year? College? I haven't figured out which one yet, though. Have you gotten any acceptances back yet?
It's interesting that they're not talking about they were all gonna be back here for senior year anyway. Interesting. Maybe I showed my girlfriend all the Mortal Kombat fatalities covered in nuts. Yup. Yup, that makes sense. That makes so much sense. Otherwise, for next time she wants to curate your experience. Indeed, indeed. The feedback is real. But you know, Dev, now I want to see something like that. Ah, yes. Can my girlfriend name all the characters in Super Smash Bros? Which characters does she know? asking her to name the characters without telling her about them.
Have you got any acceptances back yet? Yeah, 1 or 2, but most of them are still out. Yeah, same for me. I kinda wanna go to college, college to a feeder school for, and I won't have to move. Laziness and excellent motivation.
We briefly discuss Natsuki being a streamer. Ooh, in this collection! And my +1 you. Oh, you know what? I didn't even realize. True! This time you got one! Haha!
What about you, Hiroko? I think I'm going to an art school. Awesome, so you're gonna live the dream after all? I'm going to try. Good for you. You're in charge of your future, not your parents.
That's Natsuki for you, always encouraging people to take control of their own lives and to follow their dreams. She's wonderful, isn't she? Anyway, let's move you along to the next thing I wanted you to see this morning.
My man, MC! Oh, well, yeah, that's good to hear, man. Any other plans? Do we know Tomo? I don't feel like we know this character. Also, if that is a new character name, I should write it down so I can remember to go back to the Yuri thing. Has not previously been seen, no. Then I wonder, then I doubt Yuri is even gonna have dialogue for him as a character, but I still am gonna go back at some point and check. But yeah, she probably won't know who that is, if I had to guess. Because why would we ask about a character who we haven't met yet? Alright, which means I need a new voice. So it can't just be because I think this was like my Kenzo voice, and I feel like that has already established itself as Kenzo, so I have to come up with yet another voice. But I don't know anything about what Tomo is like. Just a regular old dude. Okay. Regular old dude. But I can't do my regular old voice, because that's already the one I do for MC. Maybe like a little bit more laid back? Like, nah, nothing too much. I was gonna go right to college, but my parents said they'd be cool with it if I wanted to take an off year. So I'm gonna do that. Maybe travel around some. That sounds pretty cool. Oh god, next dude, like most dudes are. As opposed to an irregular dude. Yes, not not so. Alright, that sounds pretty cool. Any ideas where you might go? Not yet. Just gonna make it up as I go. As I go along. Legit.
This is one of MC's guy friends. They used to hang out more in earlier years of high school, but MC started to drift away from them, and from Sayori in his junior year. No one's really sure why, not even him really. According to Sayori, he became a little bit of a shut-in, and Sayori started to grow a little worried that he was isolating himself, and you know the rest. But when MC came to the literature club and made friends with all of us, he didn't then pick up his friendship with his guy friends again for some reason. Maybe because he was spending so much time with us. But recently he's been going around and talking to all of them. But maybe because he knows he's not going to see them again after graduation. Who knows? But it's been fascinating to watch him. He's almost a completely different person around his guy friends. The way he speaks, the way he holds himself, it's very different.
Yeah, man, it's like, what the fuck? It completely blows my mind, you know? Totally. So, what about you, dude? Right to college? Yeah, that's the plan. Sweet. Any idea where? Nah, not yet. Not really. I'll probably try to get into the same college as my girl, but that's not set in stone or anything. Still joined at the hip with Sayori, huh? Yeah, for sure. She's a pretty solid girl. For sure, yeah.
I know some of it is tone, and so you can't really hear it, but he's just completely different. It's fascinating. I wonder why this is. Is it some guy thing I don't understand? Quick question, do you identify as male?
Yeah. That is, yes. I would think so. Quick sound to the girl redeem! Too late! My choice has been made! I should have saved before it, actually, just in case. I should have saved. Well, it's fine. I have a save a little bit earlier. I can just play up to that point again should I need to.
What do you think? Is this some guy thing?
This is an MC thing. Guys, code switch between dealing with guys and girls. Well, it depends. It really depends. It's not specifically just a guy thing. And because there are some guys who, you know, talk with both genders just this talk with both sexes the same. Can't even say like both of the most commonly most widespread genders, but also the two biological sexes. You know, despite everything, I still fall into the trap. Because everyone constantly, when growing up, everyone always talks about the two genders. So, even though I know gender is a spectrum, it's still you still constantly fall into that trap by habit from growing up. Which I think is very stupid. At least it's that way for me sometimes. Has an Easter egg with you? Imagine. Some aren't. But everything is a guy thing or go exactly. But I mean, again, for a lot of people it is like that they interact differently when interacting with like boys or girls. So I'll just say it's an MC thing. Causing you to simplify choice between a couple options. True. True. But, I mean, it is just, do you identify as male specifically? No, I can identify as anything else I want to identify as. That's that. I'm not really sure about this, honestly. It might just be him, like, it is not exactly 100% a guy thing. It might be a typical guy thing, maybe. But I'm not entirely sure.
Oh, I see. Neither am I, of course. I guess I'd have to observe him more to learn the truth of it. Let's take a look at someone else briefly. Hold on a moment.
As I have to refrain from saying anything. Oh, really now? Categorize everything as a guy thing or a girl thing because they don't want to think about the real reasons for their choices. Huh. Also, real moment, yes! What everyone's been waiting for.
Sorry, how have your first few weeks in the literature club been?
They've been really fun. Ha ha ha. Alright, anyway.
Really fun. Everyone's been very nice, and if anything, it's a little overwhelming. Natsuki, she invited me to do karaoke a few days ago, but that was after Sayori bought me donuts, and she asked if I was doing okay, and you asked if we could check in later. It's a lot of people caring about me all at once.
Yes, indeed. Can't wait until season 4 and every real life has a real pun in it somewhere. Oh yeah, looking forward to that one. But yeah, everything. Yeah, Twitter is a hell site. Stay away from that. It is just constant war.
I understand. Just a very heavy socialization load. But you seem to be dealing with it fairly well. I take it you haven't had to deal with this many people interacting with you, at a time before. No, definitely not. Well, you also have lots of time to learn high school socialization from here on out, but I'm glad we're helping you get used to it. Yeah. How about poetry? Can you get your poem for today done? I did, yeah. I don't think I'm very good though. Everyone else is so talented. I feel like I'm a kindergartner doing watercolors, and you guys are oil painting masters, or something. Really, you're doing fine. A lot better than MC was doing when he was new to poetry. He just slapped 20 random words on a piece of paper. Really?
Poetry? Okay, I'll stop. Will you though? Will anyone ever stop? Oh boy.
Oh yeah, MC really struggled when he was starting, but look at him now. He's really good. I have a hard time believing that he was ever bad at poetry. Well, not bad, but definitely not at the level he is now.
Well, Monica is being rather generous. Still, MC's a very strong poet now. Perhaps not quite at the level of some of us, but still very good. I'm not sure he would have ever gotten to that level without Monica politely encouraging him.
It's first in years because they refuse to stop making puns out of her name. Damn, also rude Yuri. Considering that she was super impressed if you write a poem specifically for her, which we know all routes happened for them in their mind. So Yuri would know the how impressive the writing was. Although, looking back, yes, that was before he became himself, and that was back when his poetry didn't actually exist. So really, Yuri just knows she liked the poem that never existed. So you know what, I take back that remark about her liking his poetry. The only poems that she really, really, really adored were the ones that never existed.
And I'm not sure Ria would have ever joined the club, but for Monica patiently encouraging her. Monica's a pretty special woman when you think about it. I don't often think about all she does for us, and I don't mean just student council paperwork and things like that, although she does that too. Just the way she supports us in subtle ways, encouraging us. She's good at doing that, not in the way Sayori does it when it's very overt, but in a way where you end up thinking it was your own idea. She's very special that way, just wish she could help herself more. Sometimes I wonder if deep down she's even more self-sacrificing than Sayori is, just in a less obviously destructive way. Something I should talk about with her, perhaps. Well, it's just about time for club to start, almost. I need to visit Natsuki for a few moments. I will see you when the club convenes. See you in a moment.
The club room is empty. There's a letter laying on one of the desks. No, I can't save! Will curiosity get the better of me? I don't know who the letter is intended for. It very well could be placed there in case we, the observer, arrive. It very well could be placed there for that sake. Oh, true, I might be able to save pushing escape. Right, you're so... Okay, good. Thank you. I forgot that escape was an option. Now again, this letter might be placed there for us, the observer. We don't know. We would have to glance at it at least to see who its intended recipient is. Plus, if it's laying out there in the open, because again, if we can read the letter, that means it's not in an envelope or anything, it's just out there, laying in the open where everyone and anyone could read it. Which means I don't think their privacy is an issue here with whoever wrote the letter and left it there. For that reason, I think we should be okay with reading the letter. The player by slipping them a secret letter. Yeah, exactly, no. But usually those are in the files. Forgot escape was an option. Ah, of course. Also, hi, enough. Alright, let's read the letter. Hi, I wanted to talk to you privately, but it's hard right now. I'm not the president, and Yuri would probably notice if I did it at any other time and in any other way. But I think if I leave this here right now, you might see it. See, it was intended for us. You might see it while she's a little distracted. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think Yuri's freaking out or insane or anything like that. I just am a little concerned that she likes being the president a little too much. I don't think she's going to hurt anyone, but I don't think there's any danger. But if you get the chance, could you, maybe you could talk to her about it? Maybe mention that she's acting just a little bit strange. I don't know how to bring it up with her. I haven't told any of the others that I noticed this in her. I'm not sure they would agree, and even if they did, I'm not sure how we bring it up or what we tell her. She's really not doing anything bad, it's just slightly concerning more than anything else. Just keep it in mind, alright? I hope you're doing okay, your friend Sayori. Alright. I mean, I have noticed that Yuri has been president for a while. And I have also noticed that they kept saying we should switch back around, we should switch it back around. And every time they say it, it never happened. And now when they finally wanted to go ahead and do it, there's some kind of mysterious error that prevents it from working. When there is nothing that seems like it should be a problem. So I have also in fact pointed it out earlier that I feel like Yuri might be getting very comfortable with it. So it seems like Sayori noticed that too. If I had a nickel every time a club member wrote a secret letter to the player concerned about Yuri's behavior, I'd have 2 nickels. Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. Yep. Once with Natsuki. Although the Natsuki letter was more so intended at the main character. She wasn't aware that the player was a person that existed. This time it's actually for the player. So it's slightly different. But yes. Indeed, it is true. After a moment, a single pair of footsteps can be heard in the hallway, moving quickly. Sayori quickly looks around the room.
Well, that's done with. If there's anyone here that I can see, hi?
Hi, Sayori. Yeah, you continue. Please don't overdo it. Lagging a server isn't fun.
Hopefully no one will tell if I, go check out the snack basket now. Who am I kidding? If there's anyone here I can see, they can't tell anyone if I go check out the snack basket. And by check out the snack basket, I mean eat most of the contents of the snack basket.
You know, she could have just done that without saying anything. Because I can't, there aren't sprites for her grabbing stuff from the snack basket. If she hadn't said anything, there would have been a decent chance that we never would have known. Unless the game would have then decided to describe what she's doing. So you know what, fair to Sayori for actually saying, yeah, no. Power burns down off creation, you even map with power adds an unskippable subpar director commentary. Wow! Ah, yes.
So, how did it go? Give us the full report. You've barely told us anything about it since it happened.
Well, it was a lot of fun. To be honest, maybe the most fun I had in my life. Rob, are you talking about what I just said about the snack basket, that we can't see it? Yeah, sure, you just want sprites of Sayori stuffing her cheeks full of all kinds of unhealthy snacks. Which, I mean, fair, a lot of people want to see that stuff. But I'm sure it exists. To be honest, maybe the most fun I had in my life. We'd spend all day running around together in the theme park, riding rides, eating junk food, acting like we were 12 years old again. It was wonderful.
That's so romantic.
Yeah. Nothing more romantic than a 12-year-old. I mean, what? What was really nice about it, though, is when it was time to stop for the day, we didn't have to go home. Me and Sayori are really used to having to go back to our own houses when we're out of time to be together, especially after a long day of fun. Police sirens in the... I know what I said. And I had a feeling that would go straight to the quote book. I had a feeling, a very strong feeling. But I said it, there's no taking that one back. I'm going to jail! Actually, I guess, really, we did go home, to our room. But it was like going home together to somewhere we both lived. We don't live together yet, really, but, you know. It was a nice feeling, it felt like home.
It's even more romantic. Even Sayori was really happy.
It was, but she said something really interesting. I had to work to get the money to do this. Took a few months, actually, of me getting the money together, and Sayori said that while it was really nice that we got to go do something special, she would rather have just spent the time with me. She said I would have traded all of this for the extra time with you at the times you were working over the past few months. That's what makes my time extra special, is how she put it.
Well, that's really sweet too. But good job putting all that together. That's the kind of romantic idea that boys should have.
Well, don't give me too much credit. It wasn't really my idea. It was actually Natsuki and Yuri who suggested I do something really special for her.
Of course it was. Those two work very well together when they choose to work together at all.
Yeah, true. When they team up, they're pretty unstoppable.
This is all way too cute. I'm gonna have a keep this overload in this club. And the captains are so adorable.
Yes. There are two things in this club. Cuteness overload and emotional trauma. Both are equally fun. So, putting things in there. I see. And you're nice too, Monica. Yeah, all the couples are so adorable. And Monica, you enjoying your long-distance relationship? The long-distance relationship where your partner can't actually talk to you that well? You can only talk to them, really? Oh boy.
They sure are. What about you, Ria? Somebody going to come and sweep you off your feet soon? But, no, I'm gonna, I don't think I'm ready yet to date someone, but maybe soon.
Hey, you should make her watch the Cursed Shift mod. Plus, hey, all the I imagine now that there's more sprites, I imagine just they going over their old mods and seeing like, okay, which mods did we make that featured characters that didn't have sprites yet? Let's add them. Update all the mods. Do it now. And then show them to Ria, for example. If only she knew the reality of this world. Is that... Okay, we're getting some nice lore here. Kissing her hand. You know what? At least she could have thought about hand holding as well. Which would have been, oh my god, how lewd. brushing elbows with a boy in a narrow corridor. Oh my god! The fact that she even feels confident enough being this close to MC. Well, then again, he's in a relationship, so there's nothing to be scared of here. Nothing to be scared of here, he's in a relationship, that's why she's in the clear, that's why she's not freaking out. Immediate steam from the head situation, yup. Alright. God. Alright. Imagine some protected hand holding. How would one ever do that?
Well, maybe soon. I don't know. Calm down, Ria. It's fine. Just trying to make conversation. Yeah, I'm sorry. I just got freaked out.
Tenandayo! I mean, what?
I understand. Just, be prepared. Like I was telling you before, some of the other club members can be very curious about the status of other people's love lives. Sayori and Natsuki especially. I remember, but don't worry, I'll be okay. I'm sure you will be. Shall we go in? Yeah.
Alright, here we go. Oh, stickers. Ah! Did they catch her? Did they catch her in the act? Yup.
Well, I see you got here early to make sure the snack basket was alright. Very conscientious of you, Sayori. Wow, you guys really do have a snack basket. You think of everything here. I certainly try to, although I should probably refill it now. Yeah, that would probably be a good idea. Hi, Ria. Hi, Sayori.
Ahead the Nyandeo. What? What kind of bullshittery is that line supposed to be? I said ehe tenandayo because there was a line. Ehe. Which I did a funny callback to another game I play. Anyway. Now see the snack basket, but Sayori inhales the snacks basket and all. That would make a lot of sense. Hi, beautiful girl.
Hi, handsome man. You guys are so cute. They most certainly are. Alright, snack basket refilled. Let's see. Now we're just waiting for 2 more. And Miss Ida.
Sorry I'm a little late. Faculty meeting got out of it as quickly as I could. Everyone here?
Not quite. We're still waiting on the 2 people who are usually late these days.
We're almost there. Natsuki needed to stop off at her locker to drop off a book. We're coming down the hallway right now.
You know, the fact that Yuri is even still commentating on this, because she probably could explain this to the club when she arrives. Yuri's really appreciating the fact that she can commentate the mod now, isn't she? We'll have a little space left in the clipboard as well, though use it rarely. Huh, okay. I see. 2 people who are running out of clipboard space. How do you go? Oh, I'd hate to you too, Sayori. Damn! Imagine. Now we know he wouldn't do that.
Too much of it.
Very true. And here they are.
Sorry we're late. We had to go deal with someone else real fast.
Good, you see this? Good. Natsuki has this very curious habit, even in situations where she does not stand to benefit in any way, she lies to cover herself. Even when there's nothing to cover, we did not, in fact, have to deal with someone else. She just had to put a book in her locker. We were actually talking about this the other day. She doesn't like to talk about it much, but she used to get in trouble with her dad a lot. For small things, silly things, getting food when she was not supposed to, so I think she developed this habit of small lies about tiny unimportant things as a defense mechanism. But now when she doesn't need it anymore, she has it built in as a habit and it can't stop.
Eyebrow raise. Okay. Prediction, they're about to comment on the fact that Yuri is drifting off. Which again, the quote at the little splash text at the beginning of this episode, even more so makes sense that it's referring to Yuri now, considering she's always busy commentating on stuff now. While the world around her just fades away.
It's a little...
Yep. It was obvious.
Yuri?
Oh, I'm sorry, I was completely distracted. Oh, what did you ask?
I was asking if you wanted to start us off for poems today.
Oh, yes, gladly.
The sun, the sun. Stand alone in a green field, your arms spread wide to receive the sun. Awash in heat, awash in light, enveloped by a power beyond you. Feel the summer heat on your brow. Your skin sweats as you stand. Your closed eyes still feel the light. The sun is taking over your body. This is why our ancestors thought it a god. It reaches into us, changes us, its warmth healing or killing, its light calming or blinding. We are at its mercy. Sun, the sun, the sun. Should I be worried? Should I be concerned about the sun?
This is not my best work, but it's not terrible. I wanted to get across the raw power of the sun. The way it both powers the whole world. It is vastly more powerful than a whole planet and everything on it.
Yuri! You can tell that to the club! You don't have to commentate over that if you can just explain it to everyone. Wait for them to give feedback, then you can talk about what it's supposed to be about. Oh my god, she's really letting this whole thing get to her head, isn't she? The sun is a deadly laser, yes. She's not even listening to their feedback. Like, they're going out of their way to give you feedback on your poem and you're not even listening anymore. I am yelling at my computer screen right now. Like an insane person.
It abandoned its imagery a little too quickly, I think. But it's not awful. I was reasonably happy with it in the end.
And out of everyone, of course, Natsuki is the one who looks worried. Because she knows her girlfriend best, probably. The pretend girl does not understand. Aren't we all insane? A little bit, probably.
It's not awful. I was reasonably happy with it in the end. Just, I've done better. There's always a lingering feeling when you know you haven't reached your full potential. But it motivates and drive to do better. I'll just have to contemplate my next one especially hard.
So I think it was pretty cool, Yuri.
And of course, thankfully she snapped back to reality just as Natsuki hit her with the compliment.
Oh gosh, thank you. I didn't think it was my best work.
Well, maybe not your best work, but you've written so much really good stuff that it'd be hard to say it's your best work. It's still really good and you should be proud of it.
Listen to Nat. Well, she listened to the important part, I guess.
Thank you, Natsuki.
Yeah?
She's so supportive. She's found an honest way to acknowledge that it's not my best work while still lifting me up and encouraging me. She's so sweet. Oh, time for Sayori's poem.
Lazy day. So, every day? Summer is for lazy days. Where you can wake up and think, there's nothing I have to worry about. Nothing. Not even that long-term project? No, there's nothing. You can just be. And do what you feel like doing that day. Even if what you want to do is nothing. Reminds me of the classic thing of talking like, hey, are you doing anything that day? Oh, like, what are you doing that day? Oh, I'm doing nothing. Great, then we can make plans. No, you don't understand. I am actively doing nothing. It's not that I don't have plans. I plan to do nothing the entire day at full force. And that is sometimes all you need. Just because you plan to do nothing doesn't mean you have no plans. Sometimes for lazy days, I just sleep. The end. Again, relatable. Personality, I just go while doing the minimal work necessary. As long as it works, just try to avoid getting close to failing again. To try a bit this exactly. I remember you were having trouble.
That was nice. Sayori's very talented. The poem is mostly prosaic, even childish, as usual. But there is, as usual, a hint of darkness.
Yuri! This is the time where you give feedback. Yes. Everyone's giving feedback right now, not just you. In fact, your feedback would be appreciated if you said it aloud. But preferably when it's your turn. We're not getting to hear anyone else's feedback on this poem right now.
A fringe of Malek in the pleasant white clouds. In that poem it was even more subtle than usual. Facially, the repetition of the capitalized nothing suggests a vague nihilistic feeling, but beyond that, there is a feeling that the author sees the nothing as a good thing.
Code rage moment. I want to hear the Ria opinions. Ria feedback is important. Give us Ria feedback. I need to know what she has to say about this poem. And yet Yuri's talking over her.
Nothing represents rest, peace, tranquility. It is suggestive of her real depression, or at least her feeling weary, beyond even the usual freedom of responsibility that is the facial topic of the poem. She wants to have nothing on her mind. Very clever. Oh, then looking at me, I think the poem is very clever in its use of the nothing motif. It hints at a deeper peace with the summer than just the ability to lounge. A more mentally restful, calmer, bleaker peace. Very interesting.
Alright, who's next?
Effectively silencing Ria, turning her into history's greatest monster. Yes. This is when Dark Ria will show up. This is her villain origin story. We should have known.
Can I go? Yes, of course.
Yeah. Wow, that was a really good Sayori. That was a really good Sayori senpai. Followed by, oh wait, I didn't mean senpai, I'm sorry. Every day, I imagine a future. I can do nothing. Same.
Yes, of course.
Alright, pool time. I like pools. I like the way people all get together. And you can splash strangers, and they'll laugh and splash you back. I like the way kids walk really fast around the edge, because they're not allowed to run. But they still want to go fast. I like when someone is barbecuing right there. And you can swim and then eat a burger. I like all of that.
That was better than her poem from last week.
Ah, so they told her, hey, by the way, you don't need to stick to rhymes and all of that stuff. You can be a bit more freeform. And she was like, damn, I can do that. Gotta go fast. Yes, they still gotta go fast. All the little Sonics.
Her poem last week was very primitive, very much a first attempt. It was clear that she had worked hard on it, but still it was obviously a rudimentary poem. This week I see she's trying to imitate us, not in style necessarily, but in content. She's grasped what is important for a poem to convey, that it represents a unique impression or feeling.
Again, nice feedback. How about you give that to the person who actually wrote the poem? Ah, Yuri.
It represents a unique impression or feeling. She is still struggling to represent the feeling artistically, but even though she is just directly stating impressions, it is being done poetically. It's a marked improvement for just 2 weeks. It means she was being very observant of everyone else's poetry last time. Very evocative, Ria. You have learned much in only 2 weeks. Your last poem was not bad, but this poem is really showing you picking up quickly. Look forward to seeing what you come up with next time.
Yeah, I checked it out. Lots of hands. Yes. I mean, I have to admit the animations look super clean. I ran around the edge of the pool once. Lost a bit of my... And that is why there is a no running rule at most pools. I hope you're exaggerating there. What do you mean you lost a bit of your head there? Like, how am I supposed to interpret that? The interesting bit about this, for me, was seeing the difference between what Yuri thinks of a poem and what she says about it. Fair, but still, we don't get anyone else's feedback. Well, at least Ria's getting the feedback. We should be happy about that, because she needs the feedback. We're just looking in from the outside.
I look forward to seeing what you come up with next time.
Thank you, Yuri-senpai. It's super nice of you to say.
She's still not dropping the whole senpai thing, which, okay, fair.
Oh, of course.
And they didn't even correct her that time. I'll go next. Old summers. I've spent summers sitting in clover, spending 4 hours looking for a four-leafed one with my friend. We never found one. I've spent summers trying to learn to cook, spending a day trying to invent my own recipe. It never tasted good at all. I've spent summers pretending to be things I wasn't, dreaming of being a hero that I'll never be. So much time wasted, but all of it worth it. Ah. Concussion. Ooh, yikes. Well, if it was a while ago, I'm sure you're doing fine, but still.
Very interesting, MC. A bit of a nostalgic poem again, but this is past-facing rather than future-facing. Was the friend Sayori?
The friend was Sayori. We used to love Cloverfields when we were little. I'm not sure why exactly.
Because they were cool. They were different from just grass.
True.
I think this poem is pretty interesting, MC.
Sayori, you'd think that most anything MC writes is interesting. This is a fairly typical MC poem, a bit more uplifting than usual perhaps, but on the whole a very familiar kind of feeling comes across. That nostalgic wistfulness. Goodness knows how MC will react when he actually starts to grow into middle age, assuming that ever happens, of course, but given how much he's grown as an artist, I can say I definitely want to read the poems he'd write then. Of course, I probably want to read everyone's poems, not just his, but his might develop in a unique way given the way he thinks about poetry, and what, in his own mind, he considers compelling subject matter for it.
Alright, well, how about Natsuki? No waiting until last for you this time.
I wasn't going to wait until last, thank you very much. It's an incredibly detailed and academic critique that Yuri misses. Dev said it, it's canon. It's canon. Sayori did her homework and did some real in-depth analysis here. And we will never know. And I felt my bag and wasn't able to breathe correctly. Yikes. At least it was only for a bit. Sid! Hi! Come watch Good Times with the Bad. Good Comes with the Bad. How are you doing? Thank you so much for the resub for 32! 32. 32. That is a number. 32 mums. That's half a stack of mums. That is... wow. Thank you, really. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. We're enjoying the second to last episode of the currently final season of Club Meetings. So, we're having a lot of fun. A lot of fun here. But sorry to hear about, D&D being cancelled. But glad to have you on board. Approaching 3 years. Yes, slowly but surely getting there. How has it been that long? No, seriously, how has it been that long? Jesus.
Time for Natsuki's poem. I have no idea what she wrote about. We have sort of an unspoken rule that we wait until the club to share our poems. It's nice to be surprised by what she writes for the first time in the club.
Hotter. Summertime is here. It's getting hotter. Swimsuit time, beach time. Well, summertime's over. and it's getting hotter. I'm leaving the AC on in November. Winter's here, and it's getting hotter. Scarves are out, and December sandals are in. The years go by, and it's getting hotter. Humanity is out, and jellyfish are in. Global warming poem. Hooray, totally no commentary about global warming. No. Love this poem. Yes. Of course, Div, of course.
Unusually direct for a Natsuki poem, still filled with cynical humanity, distrusting resentment, of course. But here she has identified a specific ill rather than just generally cursing the species.
I am still on board with generally cursing the species. Humans suck.
Global warming, to be specific, terribly dreary and affirmatively despairing, but in the usual upbeat, tongue-in-cheek, memey way Natsuki likes to do it. I'm beginning to understand that for Natsuki this is a coping mechanism. She's actually terrified by things like global warming or our world being unreal. Big problems like that trouble her severely. She tries to get out in front of it and laugh at the problem and herself. She thinks if she calls herself doomed in advance, it won't be a shock when she really becomes doomed. Even though she already thinks she is doomed, I believe. I do not understand it fully, but her cheery cynicism is her attempt to deal with her own fear, and she's often afraid. But she always faces it. It is an amusing poem, beloved. Very... what was it you said the other day?
You'll need to be more specific than that?
We're talking about types of humor?
Yes, Zuma humor? Ah.
Right, that.
You suck, and I don't care if that means that I'm dissing myself, because I know I suck. And that is good. As long as people can accept that they suck, that is a step in the right direction.
It's like that.
Well, I'm happy about that then.
Oh, all that's left. Oh, that's everyone but me done. Here goes.
End of an era. End of an era. I can already tell that this is because they're gonna be graduating soon. Of course, Monica is doing that in poem form. Has the last summer finally come? I have cracked the wall of adulthood, and now will it finally shatter? A shifting summer, a cocoon summer, where we do not know who we are, but we rest, metamorphizing. And will we ourselves spread, together as a glass of water before, now poured into the sea? Or will we always remain joined, like fingers, apart but meeting at the palm? This summer is a season of change, but some things will always remain. I see. Hi Code, doing alright? I hope you're I genuinely hope you're doing alright. Hope your throat situation is improving a little bit. I know you weren't feeling at 100%, so you didn't do the V3 stream yet. Again, take all the time you need. As I said before, I would hate for something like your throat being sore to bring down your experience of it. Because, trust me, you're gonna enjoy it. I think we're gonna enjoy it. If you enjoyed since you enjoyed the previous game, it seems like a fair point to say you'll enjoy that one. I wanted to. Thanks for reminding me.
That rarest of creatures, a genuinely heartwarming Monica poem. I was beginning to wonder if she was ever emotionally affected at all by our impending graduation, but clearly she is, although she has chosen to try to uplift all of us rather than feel saddened. Now what I would have predicted for a poem from her on this topic. I think it is interesting how she's pointed out this is the last summer, although I think most colleges still break for summer, right? But it's probably an end to the days of just lounging at home enjoying our childhood. This is the last chance we'll get to do that. But still, that prospect does not really frighten me or sadden me that much. Like other members of the club, I feel ready to grow and move on, and Monica does too, it would seem. Or at least she's not as regretful as perhaps one would expect, although probably I should expect differently given all the work we've done on this very project together, although it's sometimes hard to tell if Monica wants to do this for herself at all, or just because it's something she thinks we want. It seems sometimes she's of two minds about the question. I'll be back with you in a little while. I need to give feedback next, and then poem time will be over.
And again, thank you for not allowing us to hear any of the other feedback. Tea? Hot milk with honey? Ah. Parents have been making me smoothies. That was a bit... Ah. Reminds me, I think I still have a smoothie or two from the whole tongue incident in the fridge. I should probably drink those soon.
I especially like the analogy of the fingers joining at the palm. That was a thoughtful way to represent separate but still joined. If it is a somewhat unsettling poem, bringing the evidence of change to the forefront, but simultaneously comforting.
Imagine, because Yuri's talking over all the other criticism, imagine at some point she just brings up a point or two that have already been made, but she talks as if it's a new point that she's just making for the first time. And they're like, yeah, that's what I said a few seconds ago. Because again, Yuri, you're not listening. Drawing something very important? How important could it be?
But simultaneously comforting, I do feel grounded somewhat by the thought that we'll always be friends.
I certainly hope we will. That's how I always intended for us to be, no matter where we all end up next year.
Ow. What was that for? What was that for, Sid? What did I do? Very important. Oh, I'm curious now.
Well, shall we move on to free time?
Thanks, Spinner.
We have about half an hour to do whatever you'd like, and then we'll wrap things up until next time.
Free time. Ow. Free time, always the most fun part. Also in Danganronpa, free time is the most fun part, am I right? Yeah, you could honestly just blame Rob. Rob is the one at fault for everything.
And then we'll wrap things up until next time.
The club is dispersed. I know you often get to make this choice, but this time I myself will be involved rather than merely a viewpoint. Where ought I, Yuri, to spend the club free period?
Oh, that is interesting. We tell Yuri what to do. Alright. I assume it's gonna be she goes to everyone in order, like how we get to, you know, check out everyone normally. But just in case this is like, I'm telling Yuri to spend time with this person, just in case I am gonna save. And of course, who better to go to than Yuri, spend time with Natsuki alone. Now.
Is everything alright? Are you not enjoying the novel?
Huh? No, the book's fine, babe. What do you ask?
Oh, you just seemed a little distant.
Well, I was reading.
Are you sure everything's alright? You just seem a little distant.
Yes, you said that. I am fine. The only thing weird here is that you keep asking me.
Alright, if you say so.
I do say so. Now keep reading or you're gonna fall behind on your end.
Alright.
Doing a frisk. Haha.
She still seems different, worried or something. I wish I knew what was troubling her.
Alright, that's all for today.
Well, it's a good thing I saved. It's a good thing I saved. Should we check out the other choices right now? You know what? Yeah, we're checking out everything. Reload time, indeed. We're checking out Again, it's a good thing I decided to save here, because normally Normally, with these choices, I get to check out every single option. But since I'm telling Yuri to do something this time, I had a small feeling that I might not be able to do everything. And I'm glad I had that feeling. I am so very glad. This time you don't, exactly. Note here, I just moved forward with the Natsuki choice, which is fair. It is a very fair choice. Specifically, so you would go back and make different choices. Let's just go in order. Ria and Sayori.
No, that's somehow the wrong choice. I can feel that my destiny has already been chosen. I must not fight against my destiny. We want Yuri, to spend the club-free period.
I'm gonna say it again!
No, that's the wrong choice.
Make the wrong choice, Yuri!
No, that's the wrong choice.
Alright, MC and Monica, which will also be the wrong choice.
No, that's somehow the wrong choice. I can feel that my destiny has already been chosen. I must not fight against my destiny.
Make the wrong choice, Yuri! Fight your destiny! You can do it! I guess she cannot. Oh, you sneaky, sneaky dev! Oh, you is so sneaky! Wow! That is fast. That is actually... Oh, that's interesting. So I can never see the other choices unless I, like, basically do a full reset. Is that what we're saying here? Curious.
I'm having the strangest sense of deja vu, but alright.
That is... I see you being sneaky. Very sneaky. Alright, yeah, we've seen this. The skip button isn't grayed out, so I know we're fine. Alright. I could edit. Nah, it's fine. That just encourages people to check out different people playing the game. If someone is watching this and they want to see the other choices, in fact, that encourages people to actually download the mod themselves. If you want to see the other choices, play the mod yourself. Go, do it now. Let me start my copy of the game and do a skippity skip speedrun so I can 100% this. Alright, you do that, I guess.
Alright, that's all for today. Of course, next time is the last meeting of the club before graduation. Well, let's make the theme for next time something light. Let's say you write a poem about another club member. But not anyone you're actively dating, please.
You gotta love how Natsuki and Sayori immediately just like, really? Really? MC seems cool with it, but Natsuki and Sayori are both a little bit on the fence, I see. Also, hi, hi, hello, welcome to the stream. What the hell is this? This is Doki Doki Club Meetings, which is amazing. But it's interesting that there is, and there's bench percent too. Perhaps I should also try setting up, doing a speed run of it at some point. I doubt there's too many times on there. Is the skip button allowed for the speed run? Is there like a different category for skip button allowed / not allowed? These are things one must settle. Let's run through my digital inventory. Newgrounds page. A max followed count. My 7 VTuber list. Mega Man level IDs. Promotion of aim. Order of. And that is it. That is still quite a bit. That is still quite a bit. Anyway, I'm sorry for deflecting right back at the game, but that is what we're here for. Speedrun Subway. Ah, yes. Totally. Totally. Such a speedrunnable game. Because it's certainly not just about running. Imagine people coming in. How can you play this game? How can anyone enjoy watching a playthrough of this game? There's no Subway Surfers. There's no Subway Surfers gameplay in the corner. How am I expected to keep my focus while playing a visual novel without any Subway Surfers gameplay?
In fact, I'll assign them later to make sure it's, equitable. Alright, I think that's all. I'll see you guys next time then.
Subway Surfers, you just can't see it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Welcome back to my humble abode, everyone. Now, this is my house, so I'm going to make a few ground rules clear. First of all your parents know that there's going to be alcohol at this party. It's not a secret.
What?
Yes, even your dad knows.
There's no way he knows. He wouldn't have allowed it.
He did allow it after we discussed it, and I assured him that these ground rules would be followed. So yes, first of all, expect your parents to know, and to have approved thanks to your excellent teacher.
Of course, of course.
Thanks, Miss Ida.
Now, ground rule number 2. I will be watching all of you today and making sure you're alright. None of you will leave this house without my permission. You're all trapped now. If I decide you have to stop drinking, you have to stop drinking. Also, if I say you have to eat or drink water, you have to try to eat or drink water. Really, if I say to do anything to make sure you're safe and okay, you do it. Understood?
Understood.
Third of all, and very importantly, I will be providing the alcohol for you. Except for the champagne that Yuri brought. Other than that, it's all things I'm about to go and buy. That said, right now in the fridge there are several large cans of beer. Do not drink those.
Oh, those are for personal use. Got it. Yeah. Damn.
Those are mine.
Damn, okay. Do not touch Miss Ida's beer. And out of curiosity, what happened to the last person who dared touch her beer? That's bullshit. No, seriously, what happened to the last person who touched her beer? So I eat water every day. Okay, fair. They died. Their bodies were never found. Oh no.
Clear?
Clear.
Alright, good. I'm going to head out and do the alcohol thing.
Alright, truth or dare? Dare. Touch her beer. Do it now. Is that a bite of 87? Yeah, it's like the bite of 87, definitely.
Any changes to what you guys want?
No, I think we're good.
Alright then, I'll be back in just a bit. Have fun while I'm gone. Don't drink any of Yuri's champagne until I get back. And absolutely do not drink the beers in my fridge, or else. Bye.
Well, now time for us to turn to MC's mod then, I think.
MC's mod? Oh, you're right, this is gonna be the best one. If MC made a mod, it's gonna blow us all away.
Now that terrifying speech from Miss Ida is over.
She's just concerned for our safety, I think.
So am I, to tell you the truth.
Did you change your mind about drinking? You didn't have to, you know. I know I was teasing you a lot about it before, but I don't want you to feel uncomfortable or anything.
No, Ban, I haven't changed my mind. I'll still drink after all. I just feel a little bit nervous about it. What do you mean eating glass? What? What about you, Monica? You wanna join me? You wanna join me in the yeah. It is correct, Grandma, I'm just stupid. You wanna join me in the club of nervous drinkers? As far as these rules in the letter, I'll be watching like a hawk, at least for an indeterminate amount of time. Yes. but she has memorized the exact location her beer was. If any beer can is moved by even a millimeter, she will know, and she will be furious. Who out of the Dokis most likely to chuck beer for the Cloud? If it's anything for Cloud, it would be Natsuki. She would be the one to do things for Cloud out of all of them. In the end, where were we? Of course, yeah. I mean, she can't because she already promised she would be driving.
Absolutely not. There is no way any of you are going to get me to drink.
Again, I'm with Monica. There is nothing you can say or do to get me to drink alcohol. Ain't happening.
And that's okay. No one here's gonna make you drink if you don't want to. Now, let's see MC's mod. Otherwise, we'll run out of time before Miss Ida comes back with the drinks. Alright, let's get started then. As usual, don't say anything during the mod so that the people watching us won't get confused.
I'm looking at you, Yuri. She's the dangerous one we have to watch out for. Because she's already talking over everyone anyway.
Here we go.
Alright, MC, what do you have for us? Club of Cthulhu, a tabletop RPG mod. Ooh. Also MC going for Cthulhu stuff? Would have been expected that to be more of a Yuri thing. Ha. Not without LOL for sure. Wow, imagine. Are we about all ready to start?
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm still trying to balance these character stats.
Oh, quit min-maxing and just pick something. The stats aren't that important.
The stats are always important.
Come on, Natsuki, we need to get into character.
Oh, for fuck's sake. We're not going to actually act as our characters at all times, are we? That's so cringe.
I'm going to... Me too.
Well, I'm just going to say what my character is doing.
It's all equally valid. Are we ready to begin?
Looks like it. For fuck's sake, he's dead. Who killed him? That's what I want to know. He'll be able to make me drink alcohol. Ah, again, I love seeing fellow anti-alcoholics. Stay away with that stuff. Again, I am not one to voluntarily ingest poison. Which it is. Looks like it.
Well, let's start introducing ourselves then.
I mean, I can turn around a certain way before I have to, like, you know, actually spin. Like, how far do you want me to turn around? Like, do a full one, like a 180 or 360? Don't think that's gonna be happening anytime soon. Because my camera is in the front. Again, I could just manually turn myself around, but do a barrel roll.
Just tell everyone your character's name and just a little bit about them. Starting with Monica.
Alright, here I go. My name's Jonathan Quinn, private investigator. I may have a slight alcohol problem and I may be bitter and cold since my wife left me.
Ironic. Monica playing the character with the alcohol problem. Very intriguing.
But I'm handy with a gun and I'm still the best darn private eye in this town.
Classic.
Glad you think so. Who's next? I'm Jessica Easting. I'm a super rich heiress. And a really good actress. And a debutante. I wear like fancy dresses everywhere. That sounds fun. Yeah. Although really impractical. The dress might get caught and I'll die. But this is the role-playing choice I've made. Very admirable. How about you, MC?
I can't role place. Binder. What you know? My character is Professor Akilos Valou. Professor of Biology and speaker of 5 languages. He's 63, so he's not too much use in a fight, but he's wise and he knows a lot.
He sounds really handsome.
Well, I don't know about that, but hopefully he'll be a useful part of the team.
He definitely sounds like it. What about our last character?
Ah, of course, Yuri is the dungeon master. Makes perfect sense. That's why we're gonna be facing Cthulhu.
Wait, Ignatsky.
My character's name is Janie Two Guns Meltzner, and I'm one of the toughest, meanest broads around. I am 6'2" and can rip a man in half by looking at him, if I don't shoot him between the eyes first.
Of course, you're 6'2". Now, what is that in common sense measurements?
I've been in the mob since I was just a little 15-year-old tyke, and I'm one of their best enforcers.
Oh, it's me. Alright, we got... I didn't know you were tall. Again, I wouldn't have known because a face cam doesn't exactly reveal much about a person's height, now does it? Intriguing. Also, that's the first time someone proudly announces they're as tall as Natsuki. Alright.
But I never go anywhere in the family because they don't think it's right for a girl to be in the upper levels in the 1920s. But they can't get rid of me either because I'm just the damn best there is at what I do.
Oh, a compelling backstory.
Thanks, I liked it.
Why is she called Two Guns?
Because she probably dual wields.
Because she has 2 guns.
That makes sense.
Yep. Although I need to figure out how a mob character is gonna get accepted into a group of all these other people.
Toss in the room wherever I go. Huh. For example, when you turn to look at Yuri. Turn towards her. Oh, you mean like when I can look up. I can look up. But do you expect me to lie down on my back so I can look up at her directly? Or you mean like look up like behind back? Probably that's what you meant. A basic introduction into building up and paying off character traits. Alright, let's see it then.
You need have no concerns for that. That is my province, for I am the Keeper. The Keeper of arcane lore, the controller of the vast forces of the universe focused now on your small band of people. In more mundane terms, the DM. Are we ready to begin?
I think so.
Then let us start. You all meet in a bar.
Also, goddammit, I just realized. I don't know if this was intentional, but this entire episode is about Yuri being in control and commentating and everything, and even the mod we're playing this episode has Yuri as the dungeon master narrating and setting up the story. You cannot escape her control. It is impossible. He strikes again. Oh my god. She has a direct message. Yes.
You'll meet in a bar. You met here because...
Wait, hold on a second. Why are we all wearing our school uniforms?
You're not. Jenny's wearing her dark suit, a fedora, concealing her trademark 2 guns underneath her coat. John Quinn is wearing a brown trench coat and loafers. Professor Lou is wearing a tweed jacket and button-up shirt with a colorful bow tie. And Miss Easting is wearing a wonderful green evening gown. Any resemblance to our ordinary school uniforms is purely coincidental. Just use your imagination and suspend your disbelief for a bit.
Wow, bad dev, couldn't commission custom sprites, boo! Alright, let's suspend disbelief, let's go. I'm ready for this supposedly best mod. I mean, the setup itself is already promising.
This is a tabletop role-playing game after all.
You've got it, Chief.
We've all met here because a few months ago a rare book was stolen from Professor Lou's office at the university. The professor hired McQuinn to look into it, and Miss Easting, a former client of Mr. Quinn's, who hangs out around his office ever since, insisted on involving herself and helping.
Of course she would hang around. Of course. For some reason. I mean, again, vice president, so it makes sense, kind of. That she would always hang around and be there.
Although he was rather reluctant about it, during the investigation it came out that the mob had stolen the book.
Hangs around. That is also true.
In fact, Janie had stolen the book, but the mob didn't act on its own behalf. It was paid by someone else.
Ah, there we go.
A mysterious cult, as it turned out. When the group offered to double Janie's pay to get the book back, she found that she had given the book over to some fairly terrible people. The group retrieved the book from the cult's hideout, but after seeing things that left a lasting impression on them. Since then, the group has grown closer together investigating the cult's doings. But that's not why you're here in the bar today. Today, Mr. Quinn has been approached by a potential client, Stephen Knott. Mr. Knott owns a piece of real property that he's been trying to sell for almost a year, as opposed to fake property. But the property he owns has the reputation of being haunted, and it's scaring off potential buyers. John invited Mr. Knott to the bar to see if he'd take the case. And John also invited the rest of our little impromptu group, since they've been such close friends in investigating the cult recently. And with that, we can start.
Yes, it's kind of two places. Twitch chat, Phoenix, right? So you are playing. You probably are playing. I mean, judging by your name, you probably are doing that constantly.
Mr. Knott is a friendly man in his 30s, a little tired looking, but otherwise enjoying the bar.
So, first of all, what is this property?
Well, it's a pretty big lot with what looks like an old, rundown school on it. Apparently the school has been in use for like 50 years if you look at the records. Some people say something bad happened around then, but I don't know, it seems like old superstition to me. I've visited it a couple of times, but I didn't find anything weird. Just seems like an old abandoned school to me.
I'm objecting constantly, in character, of course.
So, Mr. Knott, if I may ask, what is it you expect us to accomplish?
Just go through the place, search it top to bottom, and give it a clean bill of supernatural health, I guess. That way I can reassure the potential buyers.
And we're looking for ghosts?
No, although if you find any, let me know. No, just go through it and make sure it's uninhabited and doesn't have any obvious issues that might cause someone to think it's haunted. Like no broken machinery causing strange noises in the night, anything like that.
Is strange noises in the night something you have a reason to think might happen? If a Club Meetings new season came with a remaster to other seasons, I mean, remaster of a season is essentially what the collections are. Like a little bit of an upgrade with new CGs and stuff. That's why the collection usually takes a bit. Pointer Matty while getting objection in your job. Got my license. I mean, can't blame you for that. Objection! Hold it! If you don't take advantage of that chance, it's super fair. Yelling objection, it has to be. Certainly also a lawyer.
Well, you, Mr. Nod, seems somewhat hesitant.
I pour him another drink and put one hand conspiratoriously on his shoulder. Come on, Mr. Nod, we gotta know all the details if we're going to do this job for you.
You can roll your persuade skill with advantage since you approached him in such an easygoing manner.
What does advantage mean?
It means you roll the D100 twice and keep the best and lowest result.
29. That's a pass.
Well, I guess yes. One buyer a couple months ago was all set to close on the property, but then toured it and came back ranting about weird noises in the night. I tried to follow up on it, but he was so vague. He just says there was bumping and he couldn't tell where it was coming from at all.
Alright, who fucking in the old abandoned house? Damn, correct reaction to being a lawyer. Alright, I see. So that's how you really feel about it. So you're the NFC, not again. Damn it, you cannot escape. Founding defender,
I've had professionals look over the place a dozen times since then, but they can't find anything.
How did he get ownership of this property? Did he buy it?
I inherited it last year.
And who was the person he inherited it from?
My great uncle, he didn't have a will, and apparently it wasn't discovered that he was the technical owner of this property until after he died. And so one day I just got a letter from the court saying I now own this old abandoned school.
That's very sad. I'm so sorry for your loss.
Oh, I never knew him at all. It's just that owning this property is a little weird. I just want to sell it or rent it or whatever and be done with it. I don't have any use for it.
I see. Well, Mr. Nod, we might be able to help you. My going rate to investigate this matter will be...
Monarch consults a currency time conversion chart.
$20 up front and $20 per day, and that will cover any expenses as well as the help of my associates here.
$20? Well, I suppose that's fair and a good price for the whole team.
We'll need the keys.
Commit crimes sometimes. Really? People commit crimes? I never knew. I never knew there was actually a reason for prisons and, you know, court to exist at all. Who would have known? Alright. I can't believe it that stuff is actually real. I thought it was just in works of fiction that people committed crimes.
Of course, here you are. He hands over the keys with a jingle. Let me know if you need anything. The address is written on this card. I've got to be going, but good luck. Call if you need anything. He downs his drink briskly and walks out of the bar. What do you want to do now?
We could go investigate the school.
They can't do that, that's illegal! Yeah.
I think we ought to find out as much as we can about it before we go there. There probably isn't anything dangerous, but if there is, we'll be better equipped to deal with it if we know the layout and any other information we can find.
An excellent suggestion, Mr. Quinn. What course do you suggest?
Hey, you're really starting to get into it, aren't you, MC? Why, thank you, Professor.
Perhaps we ought... why did I suddenly just decide to stop the voice?
Perhaps we ought to look up any public records we can find about the property.
We could look up whether the school's ever been in the news or on the internet.
It's the 1920s, there's no internet.
Fine. What's the 1920s equivalent of looking up on the internet if something has ever been in the news?
Probably going through old newspaper archives.
Well, that sounds tedious as hell, but yeah, let's do it.
Of course. Smart Call of Cthulhu player. Imagine being smart. Couldn't be me.
So we've got news archives and public records. But what kinds of public records? Well, like property records, I guess. Maybe court records too. I still think we ought to go to the school, or at least, like, scope it out from a distance.
Well, how about this? I'll go look up stuff on the newspaper archives. Or in the newspaper archives, I guess. Jessica and John can go scope out the school and its surroundings, and the professor can go dig through government records. That seems like professor stuff.
Seems reasonable. Except I think I ought to look through the records and you go accompany Jessica to the school. You're the one that's really handy in emergencies, and it seems like if anything goes weird, it'll be at the school. So Jessica will need you there to protect her. Come protect me, two guns!
Alright, alright.
The proto-internet. Splitting up, always good for keeping the whole party alive. Exactly. If you're splitting up is the way to survive. Totally, totally. Never killed a single person. Well, to be fair, they aren't in dangerous territory yet. But even if they aren't in dangerous territory, splitting up the group is certainly gonna be annoying for the dungeon master, I feel like. Because they now have to keep track of multiple things.
Let's get to it then.
And so the group decides to split the party almost immediately. This is definitely always a good idea in tabletop RPGs.
Hey, we don't need any snark from the universe running Eldritch whatever you are.
Fair enough, fair enough. Well, as our team scatters off to investigate, I'll let you decide where we look for now. Probably our investigators are in no actual danger splitting the party or not. But you never know. Let's check in with someone.
Alright, here I am assuming we're checking in with everyone again. But, out of caution from what happened previously, I'm still going to save. Yet famous last Call of Cthulhu. Damn it. Alright. I guess we'll just go in order. Just want to remind you to breathe, and while you're at it, feel your tongue in your mouth, and you can see your nose in your field of vision, so have fun with that, I guess. Thanks, Inti. Also, hi. I am trying to keep track of all of that, thanks. Breathing manually is fun. Alright, let's check on Jessica and Two Guns at the school. Immediately going to the most dangerous place.
Man, this place is creepy! We're not even at the school yet, and even the neighborhood is creepy.
Hey, broad? Dame? What's appropriate gangster slang for this?
Either of those is fine.
Hey, Dame, this ain't nothing. I've been in a lot tougher parts of town than this. We just need to ask around.
But hardly anyone's around.
A few people can be seen in the broken windows of the apartment building watching.
It's just a rough neighborhood. Let's just look around and talk to anyone we find.
So you're looking for anyone at all?
Yeah.
In just a moment.
Oh, when they ask you. I feel like when the dungeon master just asks questions like that, so just anyone at all, you say. Feels like a little bit of a dangerous thing to just go along with. 10 minutes later, you're slang. Yes, she adapts quickly. She adapts very quickly. As much as she says it's cringe, she is fully immersed.
Just a moment. 40, alright.
What did you roll the die for?
Never you mind. You come across a Mr. Dooley, who is pushing a rusty old cart around. On the cart he has newspapers and cigars advertised.
Are the cigars any good?
Not really, though you are not a big cigar aficionado. Even you can tell that these are not high-quality cigars. Really, merely even the price suggests so.
Hey, how much for a paper?
2 cents.
I hand him a nickel. I'll take one. Keep the change, bud.
He seems quite happy with your gift. He has a big smile.
Hey man, quick question. That creepy school over there, what's the deal with it?
He draws back a bit. Obviously, it is not a topic he relishes.
We really need to know.
Both of you roll against your APP. JD can roll with advantage since she gave the guy extra cash.
Sweet.
Alright, let's see.
Let's see. Dang, I do not have a ton of points in there.
Your character's not ugly, she's just unique.
No appearance for you, I'm sorry.
Thanks, Ayori. Very helpful. So let's see. I need a 35 or below. 48. Rolling again. 71. Dang.
Jessica,
78.
Dang.
Actually, that's a pass for me. I have 85 app.
Dang, you're hot.
I mean, it makes sense that she has that value set super high. She's walking around in fancy dresses everywhere. No flashback breakdown for you.
Thank you.
Mr. Dooley seems affected by young Jessica's plaintive appeal. All right, young miss. He takes a pipe out of his coat pocket, lights it, and begins smoking it. The tobacco aroma is rich and herby. He leans against his cart and gestures towards the school. Place has been abandoned for nigh on a century. Doesn't mean people haven't been through it, though. I remember about 40 years gone when I was a little and the owner used to mill over the place. Old Corbett, his name was. Quiet man, didn't say much, went to the church that used to stand over yonder. Here he gestures to what appears to be a ruined stone building about 3 blocks south. After he died, weren't no one really around the place, that ain't no one ever tried to knock it down or reuse the land. About a couple of years ago, a family of folks started squatting on the property. It does still have running water and whatnot. The landlord pays the bills regular. But then a year after they moved in, the father had some kind of accident and went real mad, like screaming mad, talking about some kind of black ghost with burning eyes and such nonsense. He taps his pipe against his cart. Natsuki, what are you smiling about?
Oh, nothing. I just think it's really cute when you're portraying this guy and getting way into the character.
Damn, okay.
Well, he tips his cap and moves his cart away.
Wait, did you have any more questions for him, Jessica?
No, I don't think so.
Well, let's check in with our other investigators. Where to next?
Professor Valou at the records office. Our main man.
You arrive at the records office.
Kinda looks like a school library to me.
Oh, hush. What are you looking for?
Does my professor have any ideas as to where to start? Yo, professor, you're smart. That's keep watching you get into characters adorable. They're totally gonna have to do some role-playing next time they get busy, I feel like. I feel like they'd be down with roleplay. I mean, what? I don't know what I'm talking about. Do you know what I'm talking about? I have no idea what I'm talking about.
Well, usually you're the one who needs to have the ideas, but make an idea roll.
43?
Perhaps a good place to start, Professor Valou thinks, would be in publicly available real property records.
Ah, right, of course. Probably I should look at the history of who's owned the property, like transfers of ownership and such. Do I know how to find that?
Somewhat, but with the help of a kindly clerk in the office, you find what you are looking for after a half hour or so. You find that the school was actually built in 1835 and remained in operation for 15 years. At that time, the school switched sites due to changes in shifting populations. The property was going to be cleared, but before that it was bought by Walter Corbett Esquire. Nothing then happens for about 20 years, but then you see that a lawsuit against Corbett and the property is recorded, seeking an order for him to vacate the property, which apparently he was using as a residence. And here the note says that this was in consequence of his serious habits and unauspicious demeanor. And no outcome is recorded, but Corbett died 10 years later, and his death certificate, which you also find, says he was still living in the school. After his death, his neighbors filed another lawsuit to prevent him from being buried on the grounds of the property somewhere in the basement area.
Does it say what happened in that suit?
Nothing you can find in the real property records.
Maybe there are court records. I should probably head to the court for that. But those court cases would be pretty old by now. Maybe I can find them here. I look for legal records relating to the property.
Make a library use roll.
67? That's a pass.
Being familiar with musty tomes and old records is coming in handy for you. You find nothing, unfortunately, about the property lawsuits. You do find, looking up Corbett in the legal records, that the executor of his will was Reverend Michael Thomas. Reverend Michael Thomas. The record lists Thomas as the pastor of the Chapel of Contemplation and Church of our Lord Granter of Secrets.
Oh, that does not sound good.
What next for the professor?
Can't really think of much else to look up here.
Make a law skill roll.
Oof, 93, not even close.
Then indeed you cannot think of much else to look up here.
Dang, I'm trying to think of what it was that I missed.
You cannot always assume you are missing something. I may be throwing a red herring and a false skill roll at you.
That's true. Man, it really does feel like I missed something. Maybe it's time to go meet up with everyone else and compare notes.
First, let's go let those of them who need to complete their side of the investigation. Let's go let those of them who need to complete their side of the investigation. Where to next?
John Quinn at the newspaper archives.
You arrive at the offices of the loyal newspaper.
You mean the student council's hallway in our school?
You arrive at the offices of the loyal local newspaper. I can speak.
Well, let's see, is there something at the front, like a receptionist or something?
Yes, there's a young man working at the front desk who pleasantly asks how he can help you.
Hello there.
General Kenobi.
I'm investigating a real property issue and I'm trying to find past newspaper clippings with regard to the property. Does this newspaper maintain back copies?
You mean the morgue? That's what we call the clippings room. Yes, we do have it, but it's not open to the public, I'm afraid.
Are there no exceptions? It's for an important public purpose.
And you are?
John Quinn, private investigator. I'm acting on behalf of a local landowner investigating his own property's records and history.
I see. Well, I'll get Mr. Wilmot. He's in charge of that kind of thing.
I take care to treat this young man very politely and thankfully. Thank you so much. I'll wait here.
Be right back, just a moment. He doesn't seem to have been affected one way or another by your deferential politeness. After a moment, a middle-aged, slightly portly man comes out. R.D. Wilmot at your service. Something about trying to get into the clippings.
Yes, sir. I'm investigating the history of a piece of local property on behalf of its owner. It would be extremely helpful if I could look through past issues for information.
Well, I'm afraid it's quite impossible. He looks rather self-satisfied telling you this. The morgue is for the newspaper's own use, or police, or anyone who lawfully needs access.
Well, I assure you that my need is lawful. Like I said, it's for a local landowner. They think there might be an old hazard on their property that isn't obvious, and they need to look into the clippings to see if that's so. And if so, what can be done about it?
He stops for a moment considering your argument. That seemed to be a use of the persuade skill, so let's have a persuade roll from you.
My intimidate is a lot higher than my persuade. 58 fail.
He crosses his arms and you can see the denial setting in on his face. Do you want to try to push the roll?
Yes, but here's what I do. I get close to him, not too threatening, but inside his personal space, and lower my voice real low. Look, buddy, if this doesn't get figured out, there's gonna be people hurt. And if people get hurt, there are gonna be lawsuits. And I ain't got a horse in this race. So if people get hurt, I'll be happy to tell a court about how the newspaper could have prevented it. But decided not to because the morgue is not for public use.
Alright, roll intimidate.
5 critical success, I think.
Certainly a success in any event. Alright, sheesh, just don't take too long, alright? I've gotta go to lunch soon and I can't have you hanging around too long.
Thanks, Mr. Wilmot. I promise I won't take up too much of your time.
He leads you down into the basement.
Still looks like the same hallway to me.
There, better?
This is clearly not the basement of a newspaper.
Close enough!
Fine. I start looking through the clippings relating to this house.
At this point, you haven't spoken to the other investigators about their efforts, so make a library use roll.
34. Pass.
He leads you down to the basement. Physical damage. Oh no. He leads you down into the basement. Roll for perception. Ow. Hi, Dev. How's it going? How are you on this fine day? Hope you're having a fun time today. We are playing some Zelda earlier, I noticed. I was lurking a little bit for that stream. Hope it was fun.
Barely.
It does take you several hours. At first, Artie gives you trouble, but eventually he shrugs his shoulders and leaves you in the care of the receptionist. After a while, you find a single article relevant to this mystery school.
Excellent. What did the article say?
Hang on. You find a single article. What do the articles say? Monica, pay better attention to what the keeper... John, pay better attention to what the keeper is describing for you.
The story relates to a family of squatters that moved onto the property a couple of years ago.
How the people Natsuki and Sayori found out about.
You don't know about that yet, though. The story says that the family apparently went mad and had to be removed, making this the third batch of people who went on the property to suffer an ill fate recently.
I be vibing. That's what we like to hear. We like to vibe here.
10 years prior to the squatters, a group of country surveyors who assessed the property had to be taken to the hospital afterwards. They said there were some environmental hazards. 3 years after that, a missing person was found having committed suicide with a kitchen knife on the property. And then that last incident with the squatters happened a couple years ago.
Does the article mention any names for these people?
For the surveyors and the missing person who committed suicide, no. For the family of squatters is referred to as the Macarios.
Sounds like I've learned about all there is to learn here. Time to join the others.
Alright, the group now meets up to discuss their findings together.
Back to the bar.
And so our heroes assemble back in John's favorite bar to discuss their findings.
Oh, do we actually need to have a conversation about this stuff we found, even though we already heard it out of character?
You do not. In a breathless conversation, you all quickly describe what you found in your respective investigations.
What interests me the most is the evidence that bad stuff really has happened here.
Also, by the way, I realize that depending on what order you experience these things in, the dialogue has to be different. Which I think is interesting. Like, I don't know how much different dialogue there has to be, probably just 2 different versions. For example, like with Monica, it was the thing about, you know, the people that were found out about already. Only mildly, but still. Gotta love the attention to detail of Monica calling back to what the others have already been through. It's the small things sometimes. It's the small things that add to stuff.
I don't really care much about what happened 100 years ago, but a bunch of people getting mysteriously hurt or driven insane one after the other? Sus. I want to know more about this last group, the Macarios. Dang, I should have asked Dooley what happened to them. Too late now, I guess?
You can always try to find him again.
He probably wouldn't know what happened to them anyway, now that I think about it.
Well, we could do another round of investigations where we try to look up records on the Macarios. Maybe we could find out where they ended up.
Even if we found them, what would they tell us if they've gone mad? I mean, I'm sure they could tell us lots of stuff, but none of it would be useful.
I wonder. Well, let's take a vote. We could try to find information about the Macarios, or we could start going through the school. All those in favor of getting information about the Macarios?
Only John raises his hand.
And all those in favor of heading to the school?
And here everyone else raises their hand.
Well, that's unsettled then, unless John really has any objections. No, that's fine, but we should think about some ground rules before we go. It sounds like, based on our investigation so far, it could be potentially dangerous. So let's have a plan to get back out at all times. Let's also come armed. Even Jessica and the professor should get a weapon before we go there. Oh, and we should get flashlights too in case we have to go into unlit areas. We should probably go during the day and not at night. It would be spooky otherwise. Yes, true. But let's also still bring flashlights, because even so we might have to go into a room with no lights from outside.
Plus, let's face it, since the property is gonna be spooky, even if they go during the day, it's gonna be it's probably gonna be stormy outside. At the very least, there's gonna be dark clouds everywhere blocking out as much sunlight as possible. It's not gonna be a bright day. We know that. There's no way it's gonna be a bright and happy day when they get there. Plus, we saw that little area. It was kind of dark anyway with the weather. Let's just assume the worst and there's gonna be a big old storm. I'm talking lightning. I'm talking strong wind. Heavy sheets of rain, everything. And they're not gonna be able to leave the building. Storm. You could say a Doki Doki storm. But yes, a storm so heavy that leaving the building again could be potentially dangerous for them. Heck, just make it a whole natural catastrophe while you're at it.
Yeah, let's bring a first aid kit just in case.
Man, you pansies can bring all the stuff you want. All I need are my 2 guns.
All I can think to bring is just a notepad and photographic equipment. It is super hard to bring cameras to play. Is it super hard to bring cameras to places in the 1920s? Do you need like those stands, the long exposure times and stuff?
No portable cameras existed in the 1920s. They are not particularly cheap, but you could probably afford to get one if you want. Alternatively, you could try to borrow your university's equipment.
That seems like the more economical option. How about we meet at the school in 2 days? We can take tomorrow off, get our stuff together, and then the morning after that, we can meet there and go for it.
Sounds good to me.
Very well, the group disperses and you all retrieve the items you discussed bringing. 2 days pass, and the morning of the second day, you all assemble at the school.
End of season 1 when Sayori. It's nice at the end of season 1 when Sayori said no to suicide. Yes! That it was.
Man, this is,
Well, it is definitely cloudy. But that is just because that is the one background, probably. I didn't know if this background has a non-cloudy version.
This is a lot creepier than I was expecting. I just had an idea. Maybe we should go check out the creepy ruined church that guy was a part of instead. You know, it'll probably be just as creepy there as it is here, right? If not creepier. Man, Alright, let's just go for it. Maybe we should spread out and search the school as quickly as possible.
Ah yes, splitting up again. This time in the actually potentially dangerous area. Well, if this isn't the best spot to split up, then I don't know.
No way, it's one thing for us to split up when we're safe. Entirely different for us to split up in a maybe dangerous situation.
We could cover more ground that way. Yep.
Yeah, agreed. I think we need to stick together and help each other out if something happens.
We should much more damage that way. Oh boy. Reminds me of, you remember Heist with Markiplier? I don't know if everyone has watched it, but that whole split up or stick together segment, where every time you choose to stick together, you come to another choice where it's like, I think we have to split up now. And it just keeps going, and Mark keeps insisting, you know, I think we should split up now. I like that. Fun times. Splitting up, always the right choice, am I right?
Alright, that makes sense. I guess we just, walk in the front door.
You stand in a long hallway. Some doors open on either end of the hallway. Far at the other end, you can see that the hallway leads into a stairwell that's both up and down.
Man, I say we should just go to those stairs and head down.
If there's anything creepy, if there's anything horrible here, chances are it's in the basement. But I feel like that's all the more reason to ensure that, you know, ensure that at least the ground floor is safe so you have a clear shot for the exit. Again, most probably something dangerous in the basement. Check that everything else is as safe as can be so nothing can block off your escape route potentially when you go back up from the basement. Just saying. That's what I would do.
The sucky evil is absolutely going to be in the creepy basement?
I agree with Natsuki with that. But I feel like that's all the more reason to make sure everything else is safe at least.
Maybe, or maybe not. I think we ought to have a careful look around before we go confront whatever the sucky evil is, assuming it is in the basement. I agree with Monica! I mean John!
Yeah, agreed. First door on the left, how about?
Okay, cool, sounds good to me.
This is obviously an old classroom. Cobwebs are everywhere. In addition to the old rotting desk, there are a bunch of other junk here.
Like what?
A couple of rusted out bicycles, some paper bags, and a wooden cupboard which has been boarded shut.
The cupboard? We need to open the cupboard.
How? If something's boarded up, immediately check it. And Natsuki didn't even want to come here to look around. Was there a reference somewhere in this mod? Did you now? I mean, it makes sense. How? We didn't bring anything to deal with a piece of furniture being boarded up.
No, but maybe there's something around. Look around for something I could force the boards with, like a crowbar or something.
There does not appear to be a crowbar here. You could probably get some pretty heavy pieces of wood by breaking down some of the old furniture and desks here, but having a wooden club probably wouldn't be enough to get you through the boards, which are keeping the cupboard closed.
How old is the cupboard?
You can't tell. It looks about as old as all the other wooden furniture here. It's certainly not new and probably has been here for many decades.
I could just bypass the boards and just break the cupboard to get what's inside.
If there is anything inside, you might destroy what's in there if you just smash the cupboard. You could alternatively just keep looking around instead of becoming weirdly fixated on the cupboard.
Plus, if you keep looking around, you might find a crowbar or something in another room. You can always come back to the cupboard after all.
It's a locked container, John. It must be opened.
I agree, it must be opened. Also, hello? Hell nah. What do you mean, hell nah? What's there to hell nah about this? There's a locked container, it must be opened.
I punch the cupboard as hard as I can.
What?
I punch the cupboard as hard as I can.
Hell yeah.
Well, let's see. Give me a strength roll, please, Natsuki.
77?
You punch the cupboard and it does not give at all.
Hell, maybe.
Your knuckles are snot-scraped a little. You could try to push the roll by getting a running start or punching without regard to the health of your hand, for instance.
And give you an excuse to take away hit points? No way.
We'll shoot our way into this cupboard. Okay, Natsuki, now you're going too far. If punching it wouldn't have broken what's inside, shooting the thing to bits would definitely break whatever's inside. Look around the other rooms. Maybe you can find a crowbar still. Come on. Janie, that's really not a good idea, I think. That's almost certain to damage or destroy whatever's inside. There's gotta be a better way to go about it. Let's look around. Maybe we'll find something useful for prying off boards in another room. Archie, my boy. That's what I've been saying.
Good point. Before I go, I pull the boards themselves to see if any of them are loose or poorly attached.
They are all securely nailed to the cupboard.
It was worth a try. Alright, we can come back to this. On to the next room.
Fill in the... looks like a cockroach. Are you seriously saying MC looks like a cockroach? She's ugly as well. That's your opinion. I don't agree with that opinion. I like these MC sprites. In fact, I 100% will always say these are the true MC sprites in my mind. All the other MC sprites couldn't hold a candle to these. That's my opinion. He does look like your basic main character, which is what he's supposed to be. He will answer to Sayori. Yes, you shall have to answer to her. MC best girl. Yes.
On to the next room.
The next room on the left side of the hallway.
Yeah, the left side as we go in.
Man, there's nothing in here but piles of wood. And there's nothing in here except some coal and a bunch of umbrellas. Wait, there's a door with a bunch of bolts and locks on it.
I think that's a side door to the outside.
Oh, dang.
Now, why would the side door to the outside be so locked?
This room appears to be a long abandoned washroom, where occasionally you can hear a distant drop of water plinking and echoing through the empty halls of the school.
I turn one of the spigots.
Nothing happens.
No surprises there, I suppose.
I go around looking at all the water throats.
In one of the water throats you find what appear to be the remnants of an improvised larder. There are some boxes of rice here and a metal pot hanging from one of the spigots over some ash. There are a few bottles of what appears to be homemade wine as well. Also some canned food.
Interesting. Must be from the last group of people who were squatting here.
I look around for anything I could use as a crowbar for that cupboard.
Honestly, Janie, you don't need to obsess so much about the cupboard. It's just a cupboard. And like we said, we don't know if anything's in it.
No, there has to be something in it. I think it's a typo. Just FYI. I see.
Let's just focus a little bit and try to thoroughly search the school first.
Thoroughly search for a crowbar-like item.
Roll spot hidden.
23.
You find a thinnish metal rod. It seems reasonably sturdy and is thin enough to fit behind the planks of the cupboard, you think. You can apply enough strength to it, and it's solid enough not to bend or break. It might be used to pry the planks of the cupboard.
Awesome. I run back to the room of the cupboard and try to pry it open.
All by yourself, huh?
Wait, now we agreed to stay together. We need to go stop her. Janie, wait.
The name is Two Guns.
Right, yes, 2 guns.
Damn. No, in the actual episode, sadly. So I'm introducing new typo. Yeah, I am playing the collection. I am playing the collection, indeed.
We need to stick together.
And I need to get at what's inside that cupboard?
Totally fine, I have no problem with that. But also, let's go together. Don't just run off like that. We need to work as a team. And...
Well then. Now what? So, I have a feeling they're gonna do the bad option. That is, we should check out what's upstairs. And as they go upstairs, Natsuki is like, or sorry, Two Guns is like, nope, I'm gonna turn around and get what's in the cupboard right now. You can't stop me. And that's how they get split up. Is everyone playing all the mods? Not fixed. It's native episode. Ah.
The unmistakable sound of wood floorboards creaking comes from above you.
She might just be trying to freak us out with atmosphere.
Come on, Natsuki, role-playing. I think we ought to check it out. If something's moving around upstairs, we need to know right away. Maybe it's just a building settling or something.
A series of tapping sounds comes from upstairs as well.
Oh shit. I think there's someone up there. We should go clear it before we keep looking around or making a ton of noise.
Maybe it's just another squatter or someone friendly. Or maybe... Come on, let's go upstairs. I whispered that, by the way, in case it matters.
Understood. You head up the stairs.
Another hallway.
Which room do you think the tapping came from? I guess that answers that question. Let's go. Be careful. Hi, it looks kind of empty in here.
While the room is mostly empty, there are a few items in the room.
Yeah, items not immediately visible, apparently.
There are several items. Specifically, there's a cupboard.
It's another cupboard! The second one!
And also a large desk, probably formerly the teacher's desk.
I looked through the cupboard!
Should have seen that one coming. Honestly, I feel like I would be the Natsuki in this situation. If there's something I can check out, I'd check it out immediately. There'll be any fucking benches up there. Yes.
And then the desk.
Well, of course you do, one thing at a time. They're all spot hidden on the cupboard.
3, fuck yes.
You thoroughly search the cupboards, and are left completely confident that there's nothing in it.
God damn it. What about the desk?
I will allow the spot hidden roll to suffice, there is nothing in the desk.
The one time I really nail a roll too. Have you guys found anything?
Kind of hilarious if Natsuki spent the whole game trying to open the cupboard, only to find out there's actually a cupboard in every room. That would be something. But again, that cupboard is boarded up for a reason, probably. It wouldn't be boarded up if there wasn't some meaning to it. At least that's what I think. That's why I agree with Natsuki that they should definitely try to get it open. Who's upstairs? We haven't found anyone. The room is empty. Well, almost empty. But there's at least no person. Alright, let's see.
Have you guys found anything?
Doesn't look like there's anything to find. I mean, I guess we could go around tapping the walls to see if anything's hollow, but other than that...
I think getting into the cupboard downstairs is more productive use of time.
You're right, I think.
Everyone makes a spot hidden roll. Just tell me if you pass or not. Standard difficulty.
Fail!
Pass?
Pass.
Pass.
In that case, everyone's eyes but Jessica's are slowly drawn to the window. The window which, yes, is off to your right there, and maybe not visible to some hypothetical person standing a few feet in front of you, facing you. A sheet of blood cascades down from the top of the window, starting to coat the outside of it slowly. Everyone make a sanity roll.
Oh dear God. Oh no.
2. 29. Pass.
50.
11.
Alright, you all lose 1 sanity. Go ahead and take your next steps.
Is there anyone bleeding out above the window or anything?
Nothing you can see.
The MC phase. Yup, that was traumatized MC phase. Not like any of the characters in the literature club have ever experienced any trauma.
As the blood slowly oozes down, you hear a familiar sound.
It's totally coming from the window. Nothing for it but to see what the hell's going on with this window.
Zero trauma indeed.
So you're walking over to examine the window.
Yes, obviously.
It's a paned window. It apparently opens from the bottom. There are a couple of somewhat rusty window latches locking it closed.
I look at the latches.
I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might.
That's what we see
herself.
outside, that
was
annoying girl.
My neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend.
How
that
rusty
never
are we
sees
talking
yourself
about? Could I
making
move
it,
them?
But it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this.
Let's start.
Could I move them without getting tetanus?
You could probably force it. It's not too bad. You don't know enough about tetanus to evaluate your tetanus risk.
Maybe I should look around for something to cover my hands with.
You don't have the time. Make a listen roll.
I don't have the time? 61 fail? Possibly I should be backing away from the window?
You don't have time for that either. Your failed listen roll means you're too absorbed in the thoughts of avoiding tetanus to hear the wood scraping noise behind you. The others look on in helpless sudden horror as the teacher's desk is suddenly impelled to a terrible speed by an unforeseen force coming straight at you. Make a dodge roll.
Oh shit, 90? Crap!
The strikes Janie sharply and sends her flying out the window. Not Natsuki! She falls 1 story down to the ground.
Oh no, let's get down to her right away.
So what now, am I dead?
That depends. You lose 1d6 plus 2 hit points, so roll a d6 first.
3?
And what are your hit points?
9?
So that's 5. Most of your hit points. That's a major wound. If your hit points fall to 0, you'll be put in the dying state.
Bench fly turns off the desks. Damn. Emphasize that she is thrown a considerable distance because of how small she is.
6'2".
Yes. Yes, indeed. Well, at the very least, now that they're outside, first thing I would do is look up at the window to the room she just flew out of. Is the blood still there, or has it mysteriously disappeared now that they're outside? Also, can they see anything looking at it from the outside? Like, can they see where the blood was dripping from? Just, you know, making the obvious observations that I'm sure they will also realize they should be making right now.
However, you're not at 0, so...
I know the rules for damage and dying, Yuri. I just wanted to know how much damage I'd taken.
Not lethal. However, you landed flat on your front, and you feel like you've taken damage on the inside.
Ha! Flat on your front. Ha! Ha! Solid damage on the inside. Thanks for the burn, Keeper. I know it's just like the internal organs, but still. The damage on the inside by landing flat on your front. I must emphasize that you land flat on your front. Very flat.
Your muscles and yes, your organs feel like they are in pain. Make a consciousness roll.
12?
You remain awake. Suddenly the others come running up.
Oh my god, Two Guns, thank goodness you're alive. Are you alright?
Can I stand up, Miss Keeper?
You can try.
I try.
You slowly rise to your feet, and nothing appears to be wrong with your arms and legs at least. The advantage of landing flat on your front, which I must emphasize, was very flat. However, upon standing, you are assailed by a mild dizziness and, more importantly, terrible pain deep within your torso. Your body is screaming at you to lie back down.
I press on. We need to go back into that room. We will take that desk apart.
Revenge on the desk, yes.
And it will never hurt anyone again. Come on.
Two Guns, I'm not really sure that's a good idea. We should probably follow her.
They didn't even check the outside of the room.
Janie, wait.
It's Two Guns.
Two Guns, you're hurt. We should take you to get medical attention.
It's not that bad.
In reality, the pain is absolutely horrendous. You resist the urge to vomit, despite how convenient it would be to show you doing so.
Haha, I get it. The one character who has vomiting sprites.
I suck it up and keep going without vomiting. Anyway, like I said, it's not that bad. Come on, let's go take apart that desk. It's taunting me.
Did Yuri have to kill? I mean, she's not dead yet. Natsuki's choosing to kill herself right now.
Hang on! Before we go upstairs, does anyone else get the feeling that we're being distracted by all this stuff upstairs?
Distracted? I mean, if the animated furniture and tapping sounds and the window of blood is the distraction, what the hell is the main event?
Maybe whatever's in the cupboard. Now Jessica's got a point. The sound started up every time we started to do something else.
So maybe you should try to go break into the cupboard like Two Guns wanted.
Maybe. Or maybe we should go check out what's in the basement. Based on what I found, I think if there's some kind of spookiness going on here, it'll be in the basement. She's dead, totally. Again, if she would just lie down, and I think, didn't they say they brought a med kit along too? If she just lied down, and they just regrouped a little bit while taking care of Two Guns' health, everything would probably be a bit better. So here's what I think they should do. Go into the room with the cupboard, have Two Guns lie down, have someone check on Two Guns, and, you know, apply first aid, while the other two deal with the cupboard. That way they're all in the same room, not splitting up, but they're still making progress while taking care of someone who is wounded. Which they could easily do. Or at least that's what the weird last, will implies. Along with the neighbors desperately trying to get the last will to be nullified.
Man, the basement? I learned my lesson, man. I don't want to go in there anymore. Yet. You guys really think it's a distraction or whatever? Yeah, let's go break into the cupboard.
I think we should at least check downstairs first. It makes me feel uneasy that you haven't looked down there.
I would save that for last. Two Guns Meltzner to calmly be passive for medical treatment. Challenge level impossible. I mean, yeah.
John, what do you think?
I think Jessica's onto something with all that being a distraction. It kept happening at suspicious timings. And I also think that it doesn't want us getting at what's in the cupboard, if there is an it, so to speak. But in the end, I think given the situation, we really should check the whole place first before we concentrate anywhere. If someone's hiding in here, we need to know. It's a safety thing. Alright, so basement first, make sure we're clear, and then the rest of the upstairs rooms. And then the cupboard. And then, if we want, we can keep checking out the scary blood room.
Check that. I agree. I would also like to check the cupboard at this point. You know what? You know what I would do? Alright, again, getting 2 guns medical treatment would be hard, but the best plan would be 1 person applies first aid to 2 guns. 1 person stands guard at the entrance to the room, looking in the direction of the stairs mostly to see if anything is happening or if anything is coming their way. And the final person opens the cupboard. That way, again, they're all in the same spot. Not splitting up, everyone's there in case something happens. But they're getting everything done and being safe about it. But what do I know? Just full of large station of gourmet tea flavors, yes.
It's really dark down here. We should do the upstairs part first.
Come on, Jessica, don't chicken out now. Already down here, we might as well finish things out.
What's down here?
Oh, a few things. Not all of them are easy to see in the dark, but using a flashlight you can make out some of the room's contents. The stairs themselves are in extremely poor condition. You are lucky to make it down without falling. A single electric light bulb hangs from the ceiling. Flipping the lone light switch in the room does nothing, though. The basement is small, much smaller than the floor above it. There is 1 door hanging open at what appears to be a very small 1 meter by 1 meter room filled with coal.
Ah. So, question. Why does it keep flipping between Imperial and metric? Just curious. It's a nice little mix there, huh?
Oh, the walls of the basement are lined with closely fitted wooden boards.
Japanifornia setting? Ah, I see. I mean, makes sense, I guess. Maybe they're Canadian. Truly, we figured out Japanifornia is in Canada. How could we not have known?
The walls of the basement are lined with closely fitted wooden boards.
So no weird corpse down here.
You certainly do not see a weird corpse or any corpse, no. There's also just a bunch of junk laying around. Various tools, some length of pipe, a trash can lid, odd bits of lumber, nails, screws, and so on. Some of the metal looks pretty rusty.
I take my flashlight and look around carefully in the coal room.
You see only coal.
Does it look like there are any weaknesses in the boards?
You do not see any.
To proximity to the US. Ah, yeah.
I start tapping the boards.
It only takes a few moments for you to find a spot where it sounds quite hollow when you tap.
Excellent.
How do you know?
Just being thorough. Although when Yuri said the basement was much, much smaller than the floor above, I started to be suspicious.
Ah, good call. The real question is, how are we going to get through the hollow part? We could try to shoot our way through.
Maybe, but that sounds kind of risky.
Again, what I would do is first check the room you're in, right? Opening up the new section is something you can do after you've explored everything else. First, make sure you've explored every area that is available to you, then start opening up new areas. But I guess they're going straight there and opening that up, huh?
Just like shooting into the cupboard.
One of you younger people could just try to kick down the boards.
I'm not sure we're strong enough for that. I keep forgetting you're an old professor. I can't wait until you're an older gentleman with silver hair.
Come on, Jessica, let's focus up and stay in character. Keeper lady, you said there were some tools laying around, right? Is there like a saw or a crowbar or anything that could maybe get through those boards?
Didn't you already find something that you said could be used as a crowbar? Or only like usable for the cupboard specifically? Like you can't use it here because it doesn't fit with those boards. Anyway.
Roll spot hidden.
84 fail.
You do find a handsaw in rather good shape. With a little bit of patience, you could probably start to saw away at the boards.
Wait, I thought I failed the spot hidden roll.
You did.
But I found the handsaw anyway?
Correct.
Ha, very unsuspicious. Well, let's get to it. Oh my god. If you're sus of it, then why did you do it? I take the saw over and start to try to work my way into the boards. I guess I'll just try to saw a little indentation by holding the saw vertically at first. Then later we can saw horizontally once the indentation gets big enough.
You start sawing your way through the boards as you say. Everyone but 2 guns make a spot hidden roll.
98, ouch.
79. Fail. 24.
It's a pass.
Yes.
You see a knife rise from the pile of junk floating in the air. Before you can react or call attention to it, it suddenly speeds towards 2 guns.
It's always 2 guns! Yuri, what's your problem with Natsuki? Handsome wasn't hidden. Ah, really.
Make a luck roll.
10.
You are positioned somewhat between 2 guns and the knife. You could try to grab it, deflect it, or otherwise stop it somehow. Grabbing it would certainly require a dexterity roll, though, as would most attempts to.
I step in front of it.
You are trying to get stabbed.
Well, no, I'll still try and grab it by the handle as it comes in. But if I miss, I want the knife to hit me and not 2 guns. Yeah.
Wow.
She's already hurt and the knife might kill her.
The knife might kill you, Bun.
Hey, mister, you don't know me that well in this game. My name is Jessica. And I'm going to step in front of that knife.
Yes. You don't know me that well, mister. My name is Jessica and I'm going to step in front of that knife. You can't stop me. Self-sacrifice, let's go.
Although I do like the professor and my character wants to know him better. But right now we need to protect 2 guns from the knife.
So you step in front of the knife.
Yes.
Alright, well that takes no particular skill, no roll required, but you'll need to make a dexterity roll to try and grab it, or it will stab you.
Well, 91. That's not good.
No, it isn't. Let me see. Just need to roll some dice. And there we are. The knife strikes you squarely in the chest, embedding itself into your sternum. Jessica loses 9 hit points. That's a major wound, so you fall prone.
Oh no, I have fallen.
In fact, make a constitution roll to see if you remain conscious.
68.
You lose consciousness. As you fall, the knife pulls out from your chest and hovers in the air. The other 3 of you must make a sanity roll for realizing on a conscious level what is happening.
30.
47, still a pass.
5.
You all lose 1 sanity point. Now you can act.
We need to pick up Jessica and get out of here. And then give her first aid once we're away from the knife. No way, that's exactly what it wants. Don't you see? It's only stabbing at us because it knows we're on the right track. I keep sawing as fast as I can. Oh god. Oh boy, this is face down. Just oof. Well, no, the knife was still... it said the knife is hovering in the air. It said the knife is hovering in the air still. So I guess it went back out of her sternum when she fell. Right, it did say the knife was hovering. What was it? Sternum... Yeah, as you fall, the knife pulls out. So it's not like she fell onto the knife. Still, the fact that the knife pulled itself out just means that, yeah, that is, again, we talked about this previously, pulling out the knife out of a stab wound is not good. So yeah, immediate medical attention right now. What happened? Okay, so what happened is a random floating knife yeeted itself at Natsuki. So yeah, floating knife, right at two guns, and so Yori was like, oh sorry, Jessica was like, yeah, I take the hit. And now she's down.
I keep sawing as fast as I can.
I look around quickly for something that can be used as a shield against a knife, like a garbage can lid or something.
Which there was one around here. I tried to give first aid to Jessica.
Alright, we'll get to that in a moment. First we need to figure out dexterity rounds here. Since we're in a combat situation, let's see, first to act will be 2 guns, then John, then the knife, then the professor. In the unlikely event that Jessica wakes up, she would go after John and before the knife. Now then 2 guns, you're still sawing?
As fast and as feverishly as I can.
Alright, you make some progress, but the boards certainly are well put together. It'll maybe take 8 to 12 rounds for you to get through.
Man, that's a long time with a flying knife around. Still gotta get through it. I keep going.
My turn now?
Yes.
Damn. Alright, so Natsuki has been attacked, 2 guns has been attacked twice so far, and now the entire rest of the team, excluding Jessica, who's currently unconscious, needs to protect 2 guns for 8 to 12 rounds, while she keeps sawing away. Oh boy.
Yes.
Can I talk as a free action, or would that take my turn?
Usually you can talk for free, but it depends on what you're actually doing with your turn.
I want to look for some shield-like objects like a trash can lid, and simultaneously yell at 2 guns to leave the saw for now and help us deal with the knife.
Yes, that's not a problem. You don't even need to make a roll, as you find a big piece of sheet aluminium. It's not exactly a trash can lid, but it's slightly awkward to hold, but it should provide some decent defense against the knife.
Okay, let me go back. Let me go back to when they arrived down here. I can't go back far enough. Because I'm pretty sure when they went to the basement, the keeper described, when she described the surrounding areas, that there was also a trash can lid. Yes, there was a trash can lid. I guess John just didn't find it. He knows it perfectly well. I guess Monica just didn't find John didn't find it.
Should provide some decent defense against the knife. The knife, meanwhile, whizzes right at you. Do you want to fight back against it in some way or dodge?
I want to try to deflect it with the metal.
Alright, just a regular dexterity roll for that. Against the knife's regular successful attack roll of 42.
11.
A hard success, the knife clutches to the ground, but you can see it start to rise again shortly afterward.
Just Jonica.
Excellent, I yelled at the professor to try and trap the knife with something.
Can I tell her just by looking at Jessica whether she'll live if I don't tend to her right now?
Well, on the one hand, she has a stab wound in her chest that does not look good. On the other hand, she's breathing and not visibly in any other distress besides her slowly bleeding chest wound.
Go fight the knife, MC. I'll be okay, probably. But it'll definitely be hard to save me with the knife flying around anyway.
Hush, you're unconscious right now.
Is there anything around me that I could use to contain the knife?
Make a luck roll.
11 again, huh?
There's an iron bucket laying right next to Jessica.
Alright, now I have to ask something. Other way, yeah. I have to ask something here, Dev. When you made this mod, did you actually do like rolls to see how things would go? Or did you just decide they would get this in this roll at that point? Kind of curious how much of this was actually influenced by chance. Is this exact question? Alright, then I'll wait until I get there. Then I'll wait until it gets answered for me.
There's an iron bucket laying right next to Jessica.
Or, well, I get the answer now, that works too. Rolled a few. So a little bit of both. Chances that they're all scripted. I see.
There's an iron bucket laying right next to Jessica.
Perfect. Pick it up, run over to the knife as it's floating up, and try to slam it inside the bucket to the ground.
That's a lot to do in a single combat round. I think that calls for a hard dexterity roll.
Hard as half, right?
Yes.
My dexterity is only 45, so I need a 23. 22! Let's go! For all the time. Yeah. They should bring that in, huh?
Impressive. With an astounding quickness of first aid, the professor scoops the knife up in the bucket and slams the bucket to the ground. But now the knife begins rattling against the bucket, trying to push its way out.
Are we still in rounds?
Not right now, no.
I drag the bucket over to Jessica and sit on it to keep the knife from getting out. And then I want to keep trying to help her.
Way to go, Archie! That should keep it busy until we can get through the wall.
And indeed it does. While you two break through the wall, Professor Blue, please roll first aid.
39, that's a pass.
Jessica seems stable. The knife mostly struck the bone. You stop the bleeding and continue to sit on the bucket. The knife continues to rattle around in there fairly strongly. If you weren't sitting on it, you're fairly sure it would get out.
Is there any more permanent container I can see around here? Like a safe or something?
Not down here, no. Maybe if you could find a kitchen, it could be thrown in an icebox or some such. But you have to get it out of the basement out of this basement first.
Well, I guess it's on you guys to get through that wall and deal with what's on the other side. I'll keep this thing under control in the meantime. Yay, we're splitting up! Put it in the cupboard! Yes! Genius! I'm not much good in a fight anyway.
We're on it, Chief. Take good care of Jessica while we're gone. It's gross in here.
Make a listen roll.
39.
In addition to it being dark, you can hear other stuff moving around somewhere else in these walls. Rats, perhaps.
Gross? Come on, John.
You arrive in the hidden room.
Well then, what do we have here?
Holy shit.
The room is lined with skeletons in ceremonial clothing. At the top sits a body that, in what appears to be priestly robes. The body is skinny, with ghastly, white, flaring saucer eyes and a thin, sharp nose. Some kind of chain with a pendant hangs around the neck. All the hair is gone and the gums have shrunk, making the teeth look very long. From the body comes a sharp, sweet, churning scent like rotten corn. All else is deathly still and silent.
Well, I'm going to climb up there and see what's going on.
Make a hard corner roll.
50.
You approach the wall, but the muscles of your chest and side scream in agony and refuse to cooperate. You cough and hack. Is that a little bit of blood you just coughed up?
I still don't feel great from the fall, I get it. Is there anything else in the room that I can see?
Spot hidden roll, please.
7?
No, there's nothing else.
Damn you!
Well, at least we found the source of any supernatural problems. The question is, what do we do about it?
Set fire to it, obviously.
That might get rid of the problem, but it might also endanger the property of our client, the nice man who paid us in advance. I think a better idea is that I should try to get up there and examine that body. Maybe if I get a better look at that amulet, I can figure out what's going on.
Are you strongly nodding? Nice man who paid us in advance. Yes.
As you say this, you start to feel very strange. Make a power roll. You are opposing of 90.
90? Well, 65, that's a regular pass.
40 hard pass for me. Two guns, you notice that John starts to trail off and stops saying anything. He stares fixedly into the distance, as though looking at a distant sound. Then he draws his gun and starts shakily, slowly aiming it at you.
Also, the expression change. Also, hi. Streaming, I have seen you play 3 main games. CDLC, FNF, and Genshin. You have literally milked these games so much. I do play other games too. Like Minecraft. Occasionally. But they're good games. They are good games. Yes, they are. They are. True. The thing is, after I'm done with this DDLC mod, my English notification. Okay, but the Saturday stream slot always changes. Yeah, their DDLC is in the Saturday stream slot a lot of times, but sometimes there's other games too. Saturday slot is for, well, usually more story-based games. I don't know. Anything that I play besides FNF is on the Saturday slot normally. Monica Insane? Oh, she just looked at some stuff. Alright, 2 guns, how good is your aim? 2 guns, are you confident you can shoot the gun out of John's hand? Without hurting her too much. Maybe at most shoot her in the arm. Him and the DDLC flashbacks.
Holy shit, I dive for cover.
You dive behind an outcropping of rock. Try make a pistol roll, hard difficulty.
49, that's a miss at hard difficulty.
The bullet hits your cover 2 guns. What do you want to do?
If I shoot back, I might hurt John. I don't want to do that. Is there any, like, big heavy rock around or anything?
Yes, there's plenty of available rocks of all sizes laying around this cluttered room.
If I hit John in the head with this, would it knock him unconscious?
It depends. You're not a doctor, so you can't really tell, but it certainly might. You could also certainly hurt John seriously. He's getting ready to take another shot at you, so you must decide quickly.
Plenty of rocks around, you say?
Yes.
Alright, I throw this one at John's head.
What even is your throw skill?
25.
Alright, 25 or less.
Contain the knife in a bucket, yes.
1.
1.
1. I am a true gamer.
Well, in that case, the rock hits John cleanly on the forehead. John, you lose 1d6 hit points. 4 in this case, and as luck would have it, the rock knocks John cleanly unconscious.
True gamer, let's go! Nat 20 indeed. It would be the equivalent.
He falls on the ground.
I should probably check on him, but maybe first I should try to stop whatever caused that to happen. It might happen to me after all.
Natsuki, my character is probably fine. Go about your business.
Yeah, but my character doesn't know that. I go and check on John. I have 1 gun out though.
Your rock left a small bruise, but John is breathing normally and seems fine.
Throw skill, fire. Toss the rock up, then shoot it so it flies at John's head. Genius. Oh, sorry, that's still the keeper.
If anything, the expression on his face is somewhat relieved.
Relieved to be free of that weird mind control, probably. Let's see. Creepy guy with the amulet probably has something to do with this. But how am I going to get up there? I ever tried to push the roll where I could climb up there?
You did not. How would you do so?
I guess like climbing up there while ignoring my body's warning signals? That it's not a good idea.
Very well. And that's what you wish to do?
Maybe see if there's something you could push up next to it so you can climb on that first.
Yes, let's do it.
Alright, make another hard con roll.
Fuck. 49. Still not good enough. What happens?
Struggling and straining, you pull yourself despite the searing pain up to the top.
Nice.
However, you feel things inside you ripping, things shifting to where they should not be. It is agonizing. You lose 2 hit points.
Only 2 hit points left and no one to save me if I fall into the dying state. Well, YOLO, I guess. I go up to the creepy dead amulet guy, and I take the amulet from his neck.
You study the amulet as you grasp it. As you do so, you feel a cold clutch on your wrist. You look down and see that the apparent corpse before you is not quite so dead as you thought. It has grabbed your wrist and is starting to stand up. It is looking right at you with its sunken eyes. Make a sanity roll.
43?
Is that a pass?
Yep.
Alright, lose 1 sanity, and you're up first to do what you want to do now that we're in rounds.
Well, I had one hand on the amulet and one hand holding my gun, right?
Right.
Okay, well, I shoot him.
He has hold of your arm, which makes this somewhat difficult, but you are at very close range, which makes it easier. Go ahead and make your pistol roll at normal difficulty.
40 pass.
Just a moment, rolling some dice. Okay, your shot hits the corpse thing squarely in the chest, but the flesh seems to slightly melt and bend around it strangely. Perhaps it had some effect, but the thing does not loosen its grip on you, and indeed it starts to reach over with its other hand. It looks like it's going to try to pull the gun out of your hand. Do you want to try to dodge this effort or fight back?
Fight back.
How do you want to do that?
Guess I'll try to shoot the hand or arm as it comes to grab the gun.
Alright, that'll be the second shot of 6 in the gun. Make your pistol roll and he'll make his fighting roll.
77 missed.
And he rolled a 14. You fire your shot in a panic, but you miss, and the cold hand pries the gun away from you and with astonishing strength crushes it, crumbling the metal of it. Then, using his grasp of your wrist, he pushes you down to the ground.
Does that cost me any hit points?
No, you just fall down. The thing stoops over you and pulls a knife from the folds of its robe. It leans over you, raising the knife over your stomach dramatically, as though for a sacrifice. It laughs in a cold, distant voice. Idiotic child, this is the consequence of meddling in things of which you are ignorant.
I wait until he gets real close to sacrifice me, then I talk to him. And I say, well, buddy, there's one thing of which you are ignorant.
And what is that, fool?
I have 2 guns. Oh! Let's go! I take out my other gun, put it to his head, point blank, and pull the trigger.
A clever plan. It will allow you a bonus die for the patience.
81 on the first roll, yikes. And 19 on the other.
With your one-liner set, you pull the trigger. The thing that was Walter Corbett falls to the ground, but twitching unnaturally. It lets out something that sounds like that should be a scream, but isn't. Then before your very eyes, the body starts to shrink and shrivel. You can hear the bones inside cracking, disintegrating as the body collapses in on itself like a dying star. Eventually the body shrinks and implodes into a single point. The smell is awful, like an open grave. A single point of the body seems to pop with a sound like a sigh. The smell of the open grave is replaced with a strange scent of ozone. Make a sanity roll for witnessing this.
Best one-liner delivery, indeed. Yep, she is called... That is her nickname, Two Guns. Two Guns is her nickname. That is the conclusion of this introduction to the building up of character trait in order to pay it off, yes. Her nickname is Two Guns, you fool! How did you not see it coming?
90? That's not good.
It is not. Lose 1d6 sanity.
6?
A fit of temporary insanity.
Oh boy, here I go.
You begin cackling maniacally.
Yes, die, friend, die. The world shall be cleansed of your presence. I feel like that's more something you would say.
Alright, that is fair. Put your own spin on it.
Fucking wasted.
Yes. This. Just like, no context, show this screenshot to someone. Sympathize that you are an idiotic child. I do my insanity, I do a flip and dab.
You empty your remaining bullets at the spot where the body was before it disappeared. Then you run screaming into the room back through the crawl space before being caught by Professor Valou, who just noticed that the knife had become still.
I'll allow it. Yo!
Then you faint. When you wake up, you are in the hospital. Professor Valou and John are standing by you. Jessica is in the bed next to yours, although it looks like she's been awake longer than you.
Oh, hey guys. I'm a little fuzzy on what happened at the end there. John, are you alright? Do you remember what?
Yes, I remember. My mind went really fuzzy and I just kind of did things, but it was like I was just watching it happen. Like I had no control. I guess our friend in there had some pretty dangerous powers, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
In all seriousness though, thanks for saving me when I got mind controlled or what that was. You could have easily just shot me, but you went out of your way to make sure I was alright.
Hey, what are friends for, right? And what about you, Jessica? You took a pretty good knife to the chest there. You doing alright now?
Yeah, it just hit the bone mostly. Nothing too bad. They're just keeping me in bed as precaution. Professor Valou took really good care of me. Hey Kevin, with the flirting there, you're half his age. But he's so handsome!
Well, the important thing is we stopped whatever was going on down there.
Crap, I forgot we needed to get into the cupboard still. That was critical. But we got paid though, right?
We got paid, yes. And that's honestly good enough for me. Although, we'll have to look into Mr. Corbett's other connections soon. They trouble me. I don't know what's going on with the Chapel of Contemplation, but I don't like it.
Agreed.
That's a good place for us to stop.
Indeed it is. I'll wait until the mod properly wraps up, and then I might end early because we haven't even started on emails yet. And here I was, thinking we might be able to get this entire episode done. That's a good place for us to stop. Yep, you're talking to me. And floating sword that we accidentally let loose.
Thank you all for a lovely session, and thank you, Monica, for hosting.
Yeah, of course. Same time next week.
Yeah! The end. Part of me wants to keep pushing through it, though. But then again, before the emails, we probably have funny alcohol interactions here, too. Like, they haven't even started drinking yet. I feel like that is gonna be a thing in addition to the emails, so that's definitely gonna take a while longer. So yeah, this is a good stopping point. We can all agree. Alright, so next time we'll wrap this up and then start the final episode. Because I doubt that the rest of this episode is gonna take an entire 3-hour stream. Like, we're at 3.5 hours already. I know these episodes are long, but not like 5 hours long anymore. Because as far as Tormius told me, the longest episode is already behind us. So, yeah. Session starts with emails, for better or worse. Yeah, I guess. This episode are not too bad. There's in some ending scenes. Well, if it's not too long, I might keep going and just finish off the episode. 36 is the longest episode, though. Then maybe I'll do it. Maybe I'll do. Yeah, maybe it is. You're right. It is a good stopping point. We'll end off here, and then we have like, let's say the rest takes like an hour, and I can do like a little bit over 2 hours of the final episode, and then another 3 hours in the following stream. I feel like that makes sense. That should be a good way to wrap up the main episodes. And then we get to the other content, like the big ol' email bag. That's gonna be a long one. A very long one. I do wonder how big the email bag is at the end of this season. Guess we'll have to find out when we get there. But until then, again, we still have like 2 more weeks of actual episode stuff, and then we'll get to the non-episode stuff. Sure to catch the next one. Thank you, I appreciate it. I do appreciate that. Alright, let me just check real quick. There we go. Because we have to raid someone now. Huh. You know, since we were on like that roleplay stuff, anyone interested in Baldur's Gate? Baldur's Gate 3? Anyone? Any fans? Because we could raid Bones, who is playing Baldur's Gate 3. And Bones was here in chat earlier, just dropping some emotes. Which confused me, because I thought she was still alive. Alright, now. That could also be a thing. Kingdom Hearts. I am intrigued by it. I don't have any real knowledge about Kingdom Hearts other than that apparently its lore is super complicated and well, that it's, you know, Disney crossover stuff. Confusing but interesting. All right. Let's see. Let's see. A Charizard, right? Sure, why not? Sure, why not? I'm down, okay. Kingdom Hearts stuff. As someone who just knows that it's a Disney crossover with complicated lore, I'm curious to see where this is gonna go and what I'm gonna get to see. I also know that the main character is in Smash, haha. Alright, let's set up this raid. Alright everyone, be sure to stick around for the raid if you want some extra channel points, which you can use for a variety of things here. But yeah, Kingdom Hearts either, just the idea out there. We're going with it. We're going with it. Alright. So I will see you all next week. I'll see, maybe we will get to see another extra stream during the week, maybe Minecraft, maybe Genshin, because Genshin did drop a new event, but I'm not sure if it's a big enough event to warrant a stream. But we'll see. Maybe another Minecraft stream. Again, Friday for FNF, if you're curious about that. And, of course, every Saturday we're going to be continuing with the Doki stuff. Hope you enjoyed your time here, and I'll see you around next time. Have a good one. Bye-bye. And if you're watching this as a VOD after it's been uploaded to YouTube, your support has also been greatly appreciated. And, you know, if you do want to catch me live in the future, then you can do so by checking the description down below, where you'll find a link to my Twitch, where I stream every single Friday and Saturday. Other days of the week sometimes too, but not as regularly. In any event, thanks for watching, and until next time, bye bye.